We're good. We're all settled in.
We're good. So what's the crack?
Mate, crack's good. I just flew in 2 hours ago, back home. For 1 day only.
I know, not even that straight here.
Mate, it's back out again tomorrow. I know. I like getting home like once a month. That's the plan. So I've done that since January. That's been good. You need a little touch of Northern Ireland.
How long have you been away for, though?
Well, so I did something really stupid, right? I've been working with BBC for 3 years. Well, longer now, actually. But I thought I could do the commute lifestyle. So I've gone back and forth from Manchester for the first 2 years of doing the kids presenting job for no good reason. Don't know why I did that. I should have probably just moved. But I like this place, and I was living around the corner just down city centre. So only actually moved in December last year.
Did you?
Yeah. It was a really silly thing to do. I don't know why. It cost me so much more to just book EasyJet flights just to get a place over there.
Do you think it was maybe because... in a way, like I think I would do something like that because I would like to stay here for a bit, and then it's sort of like when you feel like you move away, you don't know like how long you're going to be away for. Is that you?
I think that was half of it. Half of it was I wanted to stay here, and half of it was laziness because finding a new place is a pain. So, and then I had sort of a life here. You know what I mean? Like I had like Carl and all my friends were here in the apartment, and I thought that's really difficult to move. So I just sort of put it off until eventually I just couldn't be bothered with Ibis budget hotels all the time. So, and it was pretty much every night of the week. I thought this is a really stupid thing to do. Why am I doing this? So I just bit the bullet last year, got a place, and then it's good fun out there. Like it's a lot to do.
I would have loved to have done it, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like the opportunity's away from me a wee bit because I like what I have here, and it's very hard. Like it'd be very hard for me to be established over there.
Yeah, well, sure. Why would you move? I wouldn't have moved if it wasn't for the actual like set job I had out there. Everything you need here. And you got this lovely setup and everything. It's
this
tremendous.
studio / living room /
It's a gorgeous studio. I like it. But I feel very at home. You see?
There you go.
That's
exactly
homely,
homely babes.
Very, very homely. But yeah, no, mate, the crack's good. Busy, but no complaints.
Well, I'm going to do a wee introduction now because sometimes I forget to do it. I forgot to do it with Cameron Watson. Got to do his introduction. That's about a wee title up. So
it's easy done. Crack on. I'll be quiet for a few minutes.
You're dead on. Welcome everybody to Connor, the Banter Box, and me, Connor Quinn, and Joel M.
Hello.
So Joe, I like the M's obviously for money.
Yes.
Right.
And you actually said it right. You know, people in England can't say it.
Can they not?
They really, really, really struggle.
But I only found that out because I thought it was just like Joel Magician.
Mate, you're not the only one. Someone came up to me, asked that recently. They said, "Can you tell me something?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "See the M? Is that for magic?" I said, "Well, surely if that was my actual name, I would just call myself that." You know what I mean? That would be pretty spot on, you know. But I'm a Winnie, and people do struggle. When I was growing up, there was a butcher's in Bangor. I think it's probably still there, called David Mawinnie's, and my middle name is David, so people just assumed I was son of the butcher, which was not true. Sadly, it would have been good.
There's a couple of jokes I was going to say there and I can't say because, by the way, everybody, we're keeping this PG because not my reputation here as a child.
We're going to try. We're going to see.
TV presenter, I can't.
The episode will be 3 minutes long. Cut everything out.
It's just going to be bleep, bleep, bleep.
Well, less said about that, the better. We'll try to behave ourselves. You can do whatever you want. You're free reign.
It'll just be me talking to myself.
It's tricky, that though. But we briefly said this whenever I first came in. That's the hardest part of the job whenever you're on kids TV, because obviously, you know, you're a normal person and you have mates and you talk about life, but that's not always in line with what might be applicable on a kids TV show. Not that I'm some sort of menace, you know what I mean? I live a pretty boring sort of like 55-year-old person's life probably, but you know, there's still exciting things you wouldn't necessarily say on camera. And when you're on kids TV, you're sort of held to a certain standard, especially if you're on a flagship show.
Do you like have to put on like a bit more? Do you have to feel like you have to be like more energetic and?
I'm sort of just myself when I'm on TV, but it's little things. So if you're out and about and say you're with your mates, and even if you were just out in a bar, for example, it would be an issue if I was photographed with like a pint. That wouldn't be allowed. Couldn't have that online, so that would have to be taken down, that sort of thing. There was a poor soul, had to sit through 1,600 of my videos that I posted across like 5 years and check every single one of them to make sure I hadn't done anything dodgy. But they did find things, even like not things that I had done necessarily, but people in the background of a video like smoking a cigarette or something like that. They'd have to take that out. So
I'd be bored.
It's tough. It's really
I'd be arrested.
And do you know, it's funny. Other things, not even like swearing's fine. You can't do that. That's grand and you can resist that, but it's little things like I learned when I was on the show I couldn't say oh, that's absolutely mad. Can't say mad, crazy,
not it.
insane, mental. Can't say any of that anymore as well. So
Do you know why I thought about this? Because there was something that somebody had messaged me, and I was actually talking to my feeling about this,
aye.
and messaged me and about this. I don't even want to talk about it really, but so I'm going to talk about
We're in.
code, right?
Let's go. Let's
Right?
go.
But in my head, I was like, I don't think I could do that because my vocabulary, people could twist. Like I feel like people would twist me being like, "You're mental." I mean, and then
Yeah,
like,
I know.
"Oh, he's twisted," and then they'll be like, "He's saying mental health and all that." Like,
I know.
I'd be literally fucked.
It's a wee bit of a panic, and I do think about it sometimes. But you have to just give yourself a break sometimes, or else you. Oh, excuse me,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Mr. Microphone. That probably sounded horrible for you. You would actually go insane, literally, if you were sat thinking about it all the time. So I think you learn. I got quite lucky in that I grew up in a very religious household.
Yeah.
So I think I learned to compartmentalize the sort of like locker room chat with your guy friends,
Yes.
and like what you would say at the dinner table over Sunday lunch. And so I managed to just turn that on when I'm on.
See,
when I'm
we're
on TV.
my house. We don't have any of that.
you
what
would
you
struggle
want.
then. You'd struggle, man.
I mean,
But luckily, you don't have to because you have this lovely show and you can say whatever you want. You're the boss.
this is it. Like people think like it's an act. I'm like, no, this is just the way we are all the
Just the way
time.
to do it, man. Yeah.
But
It's
in our
for
house,
free.
why we were like that in our house, and this isn't like everybody would be like that. Like we were sort of like it's tone and like context. So like
Yeah.
words are just words, but like it's the context you say it in and the tone you can say it in. Do you know what I mean? Can be just as bad.
Man. It's weird, like, and people on the internet now, especially, will take anything they can and they'll sort of twist it. Like my girlfriend yesterday, she posted a TikTok talking about people being non-verbal at junctions. You know, people who are kind of like awkward and won't speak, and right away she had like tons of comments saying like non-verbal. They even were saying, "I know you didn't mean it this way, but non-verbally could be taken in this way to this person." And it's like, bloody hell, you're even starting the message by saying, "I know you didn't mean this," so just leave it. You know what I
I
mean?
know.
But you know,
It's like Offcom now. I've never seen like Offcom.
I know. Yeah,
Like, I
had a few complaints from them.
Have you?
Aye, because tattoos.
So
Kids
what
TV
actually
presenter with a
is
big
Offcom?
knife on his arm like this here, it just doesn't go down well. So
Did you get that before you were a tattoo presenter?
no, that's
Did you get that before you were TV?
Do you know, I actually got them all done since, and they probably didn't like that very much, BBC, but I just thought, you know what, listen, I can wear sleeves, it's
Oh,
all
aye.
right. But sometimes you can't, like you're filming outside, or especially on, for those who don't know, I'm, because I shouldn't just presume, probably that's quite this self-indulgent, but I'm on a show called Blue Peter, which is like a very long-running kids TV show, so it means that you just have to be careful. And I got like a big dagger here and a cupid in my stomach, but sometimes you're doing mad challenges, like physical ones, so like you might have to swim or something and you'll have your shirt off, and they don't necessarily like that, or just short sleeves if it's really really hot outside.
But it's crazy that there's so much things like you can't shelter everybody from everything.
I know, well that's true. The thing that I struggled with was we would have guests on the show who would be covered in tattoos or like had more revealing clothing or something like that on, and you're sort of thinking, why am I trying to hide it from me when we blatantly have guests on that we're doing it? And I do understand it, by the way. If my bosses are watching, I completely get it and it makes sense.
I agree too.
I think, yeah, just to put that on record, yeah. I think you have a responsibility probably in a sort of like role model way if you're a Blue Peter presenter, because it's been running so long, and probably if there was a Blue Peter presenter that looked like me 40 years ago, there would be absolute uproar. It's just gradually we've exposure therapy people into the idea that this is acceptable.
I'm like thinking of all the presenters from years ago. Like.
Mate, what's weird about it is I just assumed they were always way older, but some of the guys that were presenters, it's probably just because you're a kid when you watch it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But some of them were like my age now, but maybe they just looked a lot older for whatever reason.
Like, and I don't know if Angelica, was she in she was in Celebrity Big Brother there.
Well, see, this is my problem, right? So I'll be honest, yeah. I never really watched it when I was growing up.
But
so,
I don't
even know.
Her husband was
On Big Brother or Blue Peter?
Who's Blue Peter?
Who's her husband? This is like, you know when you're watching Joe Rogan and he's like, pull that up.
Yeah,
I feel like saying pull that up.
But
Sorry.
Yeah, you did. Oh my god, I thought there was something wrong. I thought there was just better on the cross the floor. I freaked out. There's not.
Yeah, I'm freaking out these days. I saw a shadow the other day and I had like a full panic. There was just some light on the floor. I don't know there's something in the water. I don't know what's going on.
It was. But that's a thing with her. So she was on Big Brother and I was like, she looks the exact same age she did when she was a TV presenter.
It's mental. There's celebrities now as well. Who was it the other day? I was thinking Harry Hill. Someone mentioned doing an interview with Harry Hill, and I was like, is he still alive? But he's only in like 50s or something big. But it's just, I feel like when you see a bald man whenever you're 7, you think he must be on death's door. So
What? You're 27, aren't you?
I'm 27. How old are you?
30.
30? Mate, you look well. I thought you were younger than me. You got a useful little face. That's good.
Everybody says that. Still get asked.
Mate, that's good though. We'll hate that when that stops. Look at you go. Let's see. Do I have mine on me?
She
Let me
laughed.
see. Give us a look at that.
Michael Underwood.
Michael Underwood, was he a Blue Peter presenter? See, this is the thing, right?
You're going to get Blue Peter.
I'm going to get banned off the show. I've been able to afford the luxury of being lazy with it because my co-presenter Abby, she's like an encyclopedia when it comes to Blue Peter. So in her house, she has all the annuals. Here, let's swap here. Let's have a look. Let's see your card.
That does not even look like.
Mate, you look younger now than you did here. I was.
You look
17. I do.
No, you look
But
7.
mate, I don't understand. You look. Don't you think he looks older than that than he does now? You have what eyebrows?
I gotta hate it.
Chicken wing eyebrows. I can't see that. My eyesight's absolutely tapped. Here, I want to see that. Show me that afterwards.
I'm covering your things here to show that picture just right.
Yeah, people forget here. Yeah.
You're right here. Don't worry. It's my
identity theft.
It's my mummy's.
So if this was 2017, so you would have been what? Oh, that's
2016. I'm 1 year.
You don't look. It's the facial hair changes you up that much. That's the thing, and then the hair pulled down.
So I must have been like 19 there.
I would have been, yeah.
Well,
gosh, so that was near 10 years ago now. So I would have been, I suppose.
Yeah.
I would have been like 17, 18 there.
I do look like a man, don't I? Like,
Can I tell you the truth? But I'm really freaking out because I can't do the math on that in my head. I really struggle to do a bit of that mental math to figure out how old I was in that because I got so lazy. I just would chat GPT it now. It's not good.
I know.
Like my brain's cooked.
We were talking about today though with like some business consultant about like the power of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I can't even say it properly.
But
we were like, it's not like people would like it's cheating, but it's really, really not. It's just being more efficient with your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, see if I have like a guest now coming on, I probably shouldn't say this. Like I'll go in and be like, I can like pick out what are better to talk about with them, or like, they're like it's a real quick way of like researching.
Yeah.
But other times it's just like no, you can.
Yeah, no. Man. If someone took my ChatGPT history, they think I'm like so stupid. Some of the stuff I've typed in, it's the reassurance seeking to the max. Every single thing. But I do agree, it speeds up work. And then the way I look at it is, well, other people who are sort of, I suppose, competition in your space are using it, so you're kind of setting yourself up as a disadvantage if you don't at this point, you know, or at least save yourself time. Like goodness me, I use it for loads of stuff.
But that's exactly it. It's not like taking like what would be lazy is just expecting that they have done all the work and then you're just going to go and be like, right here, I'm just going to read all this. Yeah, no, you still need to go through it and be like, what's good.
You still have to use your brain at some point, don't you? I know.
So here, what? So first, you started out in social media first. Is that where you got most of the?
Yeah. It was never really on purpose to do social either. That was a happy accident. So I was a close-up magician from whenever I was like a teenager. And I did that with the intention of just doing like parties and weddings and stuff. Yeah. And then somebody said to me, here, a good way to get work, I suppose, is just to post online. Because I got a gig round in Belfast when I was like 11, 12, really young, based off of like a thing I'd thrown up on Facebook. And I thought, well, that probably is a good idea. So I did that and posted just videos of me doing tricks basically around the house. But I posted one that was out in Tesco's, and I was just taking stuff off the shelves and doing magic tricks with I suppose just the products. And for whatever reason, it did really well. Like at the time for me, it was massive. I think it was like 7 million views it did overnight. It was Unilad shared it. That's what it was. Unilad shared it out on an old Facebook page. And I was like, oh my God, I'm famous. This is it. I can retire. And I never got like another 7 million viewed video for like years after that, I'm pretty sure. But that sort of started my page growing a little bit. And it was just magic trick videos. That's all it was.
That's class. So did you say you probably like one of like you were probably going to be one of the first people.
I was quite early on it. Yeah, I was an early adopter. There were a few people before me that were really, really helpful as well. There's a wonderful guy called Magic Singh. He was on TikTok, I remember. Yeah. I didn't even know what TikTok was because when I downloaded the app, it was Musical.ly, I think.
Yes.
And I posted a video of me playing the piano on there. Nothing ever happened, sadly. That career didn't take off.
Get that?
Nah.
You post a video and you think, I'm going to make it.
I thought this might be it. I'm hearing big success stories. No, he never really took off for me. But he had like 1 million followers in there. I thought, oh my gosh, that's amazing. He must be making a full-time career, and he actually was. Then there's another guy, Luca Gallone, who's a mate as well, and he was really helpful because he was looking at some of the videos I was posting on Instagram that were getting like 200 views, and he was the first person I remember seeing that he was doing his full-time living just off like brand deals and stuff, and I was like, how are you doing that? And the one thing he taught me was that my videos were really good, but they were boring for the first 3 seconds, so it didn't matter if the video was any good. And I was like, oh, that's true. Then I changed that one thing and then TikTok started to grow really, really. It was quite slow actually. It didn't take.
And,
It wasn't an overnight thing.
It must have taken a good bit of time to get the 15.7
Aye.
million followers.
It took a hot minute. Bloody yeah. I think it's that snowball thing, isn't it? Where it took me. I suppose probably I started my YouTube channel when I was 10 or 11, and it took me till I was probably 23 to get my first 10,000, maybe 22 actually, to get my first 10,000 subs overall on everything. And then it took like a year to get from 10,000 to a million, and then it took like another year to get from a million to 10, because you learn it's not that like it's just.
How does your phone cope with it?
Oh, it's mental, man. Like there were days it's not so bad now because I don't really post that much online anymore and I'm focused on the TV thing, but back in like 2020 to 2021 there were times the app just would not work, and if you made the mistake of keeping notifications on, it was mental. Because it was my best day ever was I posted some video, can't even remember what the video was now, but it massively kicked off, and the TikTok account grew over 100,000 people in one day, followers. That was mental, and the phone couldn't cope, had to turn the phone off because it was just too much. And I'd seen that happen to other people before, going, that's so cool. You sort of realize after a while it means nothing, you know what I mean? But it was fun to experience it, and that was a bit wild.
Because I do always think about that, like when celebrities, like, just say like the likes of Kim Kardashian, something puts a post up, and I'm like, are they right back to someone's post? I'm like, how did you see that?
I know, there's no way.
I'm pretty sure that that's the phone.
It can't be them doing it. Like, it just can't be. Because I've seen, like, I have a big social media page, but like I'm not an A-list celebrity. I think we all know that. So to imagine how many messages they're getting alone a day. I did hear something once about them, because you don't think about it, like the amount of electricity it costs every time one of those big celebrities post something online. For it to actually filter out and notify that many people, or to go on that many people's pages. It's like setting so many amount of houses on the map, apparently. It's madness. Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, like Ronaldo shared out a post. I think the amount of people that like electricity and stuff that's used for them to watch that, it's pretty mental.
I don't know. I just don't know how to see this stuff, because like how can you be scrolling on your phone and then you're getting the notification? I just imagine
here.
Screen, be like,
I reckon it has to be like a team of people.
But Chloe, did you?
Yeah, maybe.
Did you see? Did you see though the video? No, the wee Scottish girl on TikTok. And she's like, "How are you, my darlings?" She's like, "Do you know it?"
No.
She's with her daddy all the time. And she's like a wee granny. Khloe Kardashian wrote underneath her post.
See, that's bananas to me. I saw like Paris Hilton had commented on something the other day, just a random meme. I'm like, that's mad. Like, I suppose they do sit and scroll their phones too.
I know, but
it's wild to think.
Like, imagine, like, I would actually be scundered if, like, my face come up on their For You page. I'd like it off.
It's a wee bit cooked, isn't it? But I suppose that you sit and doom scroll too as well.
I know.
Though, mate, I'd be too scared. Like, if I was that famous and there was that much pressure, you'd be terrified to leave a comment on something. Just in case, what if you just commented the wrong thing or something like that? You'd be scared to open the app, for God's sake.
I know, but then, you actually would. But then I was going to talk about, so, like, all your interviews, you've like not all of them, obviously not all your interviews, but like you've done a lot of big interviews, haven't you?
Aye, I've done a few. It's me, yeah.
You're not scared or like what?
Nah. Well, do you mean me interviewing somebody else or people interviewing me?
I couldn't like I seen like the stuff for you like with Ariana Grande and stuff. And
no, listen, I was a bit nervous for that one. I have to say, I was, because teenage me would have crawled over broken glass to shake her hand. I try not to think about it too much. I think that the Blue Peter jobs give me a good exposure therapy to just kind of treat them as people. But I mean, to be honest, most of the celebrities I've met have been very, very nice, and I think they're gonna be because they're on camera a lot of the time as well. But even off camera, most of them have been really sound.
So, like, would you obviously like? I sort of have to get the questions here. Would you sort of then are you given the questions?
So it depends. I mean, if it's like a junket interview type thing, not so much. I'm given a bit more free rein with that, and I can ask what I want. So I think next week I'm doing Superman, which is really, really cool. And they were just like, these are the people you're interviewing. Crack on. Usually, if it's a kids' TV show thing, you have to think about like, what is a kid gonna ask? So it wouldn't really be good if I just went in and asked what I necessarily wanted to know.
Yeah.
But I suppose if it's in studio, they do just script it most of the time because they're trying to like promote a certain thing or whatever, and then you kind of have to tick those boxes. But there's been other times I've interviewed other guests and you've maybe sat down with an hour for not Blue Peter, and you just sort of talk, see what comes up most of the time.
And I suppose like people are just going to be there like, unless it's a live interview, you've done any of them?
Yeah, I've done a few of those as well.
But I would be sweating.
Do you know, there's been a couple of them. I remember oh goodness me, I'm gonna blank on names. Here is the problem. Whenever I try to think of people, but there's been a few ones. The real high pressure ones are usually charity days at the BBC. So if it's like Children in Need or Comic
Yeah.
Relief, and they're so busy, the celebrities those days, that you might actually just be able to speak to them for 2.5 minutes, and that's the only time slot you have for the entire time. And if it's messed up, even if it's a pre-record, you don't get to do it again. And the pressure's on a little bit then, because a lot of the time when you're doing that, you don't have like an in-ear, and we don't use auto cue or anything like that as well. So
No.
it's not like, no, actually I had a job that was auto cue recently.
I couldn't
and I
do
was
that.
like, oh, it's amazing. It's so much easier.
I
So
couldn't
good.
do that. Like I'm dyslexic. My brain would be like, I'd be like spinning. Put it back to the start.
Well, it's really good now though, because I think there's some software or whatever that just does it as you speak. But the problem is, if you then veer off and just start talking yourself, it will completely cook itself and it won't work. So I do struggle a little bit with that. There's been times I've started the live show, because we do have in-ears whenever we're doing live shows, and sometimes I forget to put them in. That's a wee bit of a struggle, and you'll be sat there going, this is really quite a calm interview. I'm pretty chill. And you're like, oh yeah, that's because I'm not listening to someone who's telling me what to do. I've had that a few times. Aye. But then it kind of goes okay. The only problem you get into then is that you don't know how long's left, so that's the real skill. I would say if there's anything I'm nervous about in interviews, it's less so the chat with the person, because I'm kind of grand to talk to anyone now. It's more that you're having to multitask, because you're remembering your questions somewhat. You're trying to look relaxed and not really, really stressed. But then at the same time, you have someone counting in your ear the whole time. So you'll get like 1 minute, 30, 29, and then you'll get 10, 9, and you'll get told like, and you'll get different notifications. So you have to then remember what the count is. So you'll get like a 1 minute counter, then you'll get 10 seconds to wrap the interview and like 10 seconds to break to the next section. So you'll get like hard count 10, 9, and you're having to talk at the same time while still sort of mentally. So that does make you a bit nervous that you don't miss that, because in TV, if you miss that, it can really, really mess up the next program if you run over too much, or if you make a really big mistake.
That's so much hard work, though.
Yeah, they sort of train you on that when you join a little bit and you do practice sessions, but it's different when it's live. And then if you do make a mistake and you go over by 15 seconds, that will then mess up the next two presenters, because they might have rehearsed the sequence as 45 seconds, but now they only have 30, so they have to condense the lines down and stuff and split. So it can be complicated, and you have to sort of stay on track.
No, you'll never see me presenting. Ever in your life. No, I done a show on Thompson's.
You're better, man.
I done a show on Thompson's, mate. And,
Did you?
Yeah, no, but like
when?
Like a live podcast show.
Oh, sick.
But like in my head, I knew like I had the songs planned out, and then I just had to constantly keep looking at the time on my phone, because I was in control. To be like, right, hold on, wait. That's why. Did you didn't know us? That's why I went to everybody. Does anybody want a song? Because I couldn't.
Brilliant.
I couldn't. It was going to be over to. I couldn't play the last song, because that was the end of it, and I would have been over. It would have been over like 15 minutes early. So I was like, "Give me 2 songs," because I had to skip a song because nobody danced to one of the songs. I went, "That's too fancy."
What's that like if you're playing a song and no one dances? That's gotta feel weird.
Because like I wasn't. So it was a live show. So it was like we were talking, like, and then it was like I was like, "No, really, this really reminds me." And then I was just playing us like a song, so like an old school song,
right?
And then we're back at sitting down having the conversation.
Fine.
And then back.
Fine.
So like that was like more. Because it was in Thompson's, it had to be like that.
Now listen, I can admit I have been in Thompson's from time to time. I can't imagine where in that place you do a live.
No.
Where do you do it?
So literally at the DJ box,
No way.
They took away the grill.
Oh man, that's cool.
I know, it was
I like
good.
that. I wish I'd seen that.
It was good. It was good. Like,
Thompson's.
It was good. It was good. If I done it again, it would probably be. I said, who did I say to you? It was. I think I was saying to Nadine, the way Thompson's has to be is basically like the structure of like a drag show. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Bit of banter, shouting, talking to everybody, then a song, then you go back to the same talking, doing like, and it'll just be like constantly like that, because it is a nightclub.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Did you enjoy it though?
I did. Like I enjoyed it, but like I'm very. Like I just have to go home after things, because like my adrenaline comes down. I'm a pretty shy person. Like I come and see you, I was like, I'm nervous here, but
Mate, I know how you feel. I'd be the same. The one thing I used to struggle with after shows was my adrenaline would be quite high, obviously. Then you have the crash, like you said. And if you're doing magic as well, you tend to be like the center of attention straight for like 3 hours. Say I was doing a wedding back in the day, and then suddenly you're like driving home by yourself at 2 a.m. on like a motorway in a service station, and you get the post-show blues. So I started traveling with another person to kind of keep the spirits up, so you don't get that like horrible existential crisis afterwards. And I've heard that happens loads of people, especially comedians. They tend to get it quite a lot as well. So I like to have a few people to travel with, which is nice.
That's that was sort of like, because I was only around Thompson's, I walked home when I was in bed for like 10:30.
Yeah,
I was like, and I like literally went from like a full nightclub to like in here by myself. I don't even take my shoes up, get into bed.
Mate, that is the dream you're living. And then I would top that, maybe get some delivery ordered or something. Just sit in bed,
No,
and
it's
then
the next day I do all that.
do yeah. Mate, I'm bad. It's a habit I have to get out of. I can't finish the day without a little bit of food right before bed. I'm trying to break that habit at the minute.
Actually?
Yeah, I struggle. I think I got so used to traveling for work.
Yeah.
You look forward to your little bit of food at the end of the day because you don't really get the chance to eat that much whenever you're just going through your filming.
But see, saying that though, I get into a habit, and I haven't done this in a couple of nights. I bet you I fucking do this now.
Aye.
I get up in the middle of the night and eat.
Oh, mate, my brother does that as well.
Like, here,
Round of applause, mate. It's tremendous.
anything though, like I go, there's a packet of Christmas back in his cupboard.
Yeah, well, mate, you're not as bad as him. I've seen this boy get up, make a full chili, eat the chili, and go back into bed again. Like he fully does, and then he won't eat all day till like 7 o'clock at night.
Because he's had 2 plates of
Yeah.
chili.
But maybe there's something to it, man, because he's in good shape, like,
Aye.
and he doesn't ever seem to exercise. So like,
Because he's intimate fasting all day.
pretty much,
right?
yeah. He just slams coffees all day long and then just eats chili at night time or bolognese.
But it is a proper habit, because like there was days where like I woke up and I've had like a tray of like cut up melon like in bed, and then there's one time I tried to eat a pack of grapes, and I was like eating them, and I was like, oh, they're seasoning them, and I was trying to take the seeds out. I was just like, no, let's go to fucking sleep. Like, that's a pure operation.
It's we'll work on it, the two of us, you know, man, because probably isn't that healthy to do it, is it?
But here, like I get bad ice lollies, and all, like, so it's not always bad food. Well, ice lollies is bad food.
We ice lolly before bed's good. I keep one of them in the freezer. I'm feeling like a real creature of comfort now, because for so long I was in hotels for the last couple of years. I couldn't have all my favourite things in the house all the time. But now I've got a fridge again. Mate, God help me, it's tremendous. Ice lollies are a good one. Just whack them in the freezer. You're ready to go.
I'll eat them all though.
I'd be big popcorn before bed guy. Grab me a bag of popcorn every night. I'll shovel that in, no problem. It's tremendous.
You know what I got into the habit of doing as well? Like, you can order a co-op.
Yeah.
So I order like
unreal.
Little Moons, packs of Twisters, like 30 quid for five lollies.
Mate, it adds up. I have a Sainsbury's right underneath my apartment at the moment.
Do you?
I mean, it's dangerous because it does stay open till 11, and I just think,
But-
wee sweet treat every night. Wee sweet treat. It's good that.
That's cheaper though, because we were talking about this, like ordering a boojum. No offense, I'll probably blur boojum name out just in case. But like, she was saying that you went. Add extra, so much extra. It cost me 30 quid just for a fucking burrito. Bro.
I believe that, man. Yeah,
and then
it's
you buy it in there for like what, 12 pound max.
Well, man, do you know what I have to say? Do you know what I've discovered since moving to England? Aldi.
Why?
It changed my life. This is absolutely superb. There's one right beside my girlfriend's flat, and I'm like a new man. It would make you feel rich going in there if you're used to buying takeaways all the time, and you go in, you're like, what do I mean? I can have as much food as I want for the same price as one McDonald's. This is incredible. I haven't known myself. And then everything does taste the same. Like, you get the Aldi knockoff version. I mean, it's cracker. But it's the treat.
Is Aldi sort of like a version of Lidl?
I think so.
It's a wee bit better.
Is it? Aye.
It is a wee bit. It is better. Like,
Yeah.
They were selling Pilates things the other weekend.
Aye, because they have the wee exciting middle row, and apparently there's a catalogue for that as well. It's a bit like Lidl. Someone was telling me that the other day. You can see what's coming next month to the exciting centre rack. It's cool.
you know,
It's like going to IKEA. Like, it's
you know about
exciting.
the catalogue, like the booklet? Did you get it?
Yeah.
Mate, you get that from Lidl.
Well, see,
I used to put them into the papers.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever lived close to a Lidl. Is the thing. I've always, for whatever reason, places I've lived have always been beside a Tesco. That's always been my little convenience shop. Whenever I was in the city centre there for a while, it was always the Tesco Express, you know, down by Zara and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I used to slap that place every single day. And I suppose there was a Lidl around the other way, though, but it wouldn't have stayed open late, which is when I'd be eating.
And there's, I think, was it actually the Tesco Express sells drink? And the Lidl definitely does, doesn't it?
I'm sure Lidl does, aye.
Because I remember there was a street party before, and somebody's like, "We need to go over to Lidl and get drink." And I was like, "I didn't want one sold drink."
Aye.
Like a street party, like not like a street party like around the corner. I mean, like in the town.
Aye.
Like it was like Common Walker or something. Like, and they were all drinking. Like, the people were just.
Oh, they have the right idea.
It was probably your sister. It was your sister, the man.
She's dead right too.
I know.
Well, listen, it's changed my life, this Aldi, man. I'll have to hop on the Lidl next then as well.
Yeah, I actually think Aldi is better.
You reckon so?
It is actually better.
It's a level up, aye. But mate, it's so good. I love it. I couldn't believe myself. And they have all the like the protein bars and stuff. Not that I'm eating them all the time, as you can clearly tell. But like, it's like a third of the price. And they taste the exact same.
They do like beef isolate and beef like with just like the protein juice and stuff.
Yeah, I will say though, one thing it's not worth cheaping out on is I tried these chicken skewers from there, like from the frozen section. not great. Not great. That wasn't. But I just was on my Aldi hype, and I thought, I'm just going to get everything from here. This is amazing. Opt for Tesco in that case. That's where you want to really splash.
I can't really have any frozen chicken.
It's not a good idea, man. No, it's not good. But here, listen, you learn.
That's it. But here, also, so you're sort of like shying away from like your big interview. So like,
yeah, sorry. I'm just on my Aldi hype. Apologies.
Aren't you? Because I'm like feeling like he's being very modest or something. Like he's like interviewed Prince William. I know.
I don't want to talk about it, guys.
What was it like interviewing Prince William?
Do you know what? Lovely bloke. I
lovely bloke, just the next king.
He was, and I was mad that I forget sometimes. I've met him a couple of times, and then he was very kind. Got the invite down to Buckingham Palace there recently.
Did you?
Which actually, I have to say, there was a sort of drama there. In fact, because I was spotted there with my girlfriend, and we had tried to keep our relationship secret for a year, and we were spotted together at Buckingham Palace. So Prince William got me exposed in the Daily Mail.
Did he?
I don't think he personally invited me. I'd say it was a PR team. Yeah, it was like Sarah from The Office. But so, no, he was really nice, man. He was good, and I knew going in that the royal family are quite a fan of magic, so they have always booked magicians for their parties and stuff. And it was getting a little bit awkward, actually, because when we were interviewing him, we filmed it at Frogmore House, which is right beside Heathrow Airport, and it was a whole eco-friendly interview. We were talking about like saving the planet, and these like just jets kept flying over every 10 seconds, and it wasn't the right look, so the interview took ages to do, and we had to stop every 2 seconds. It got really awkward after a while, because every time he was speaking, the sound guy, bless him, had to be like, here, listen, pause. So I started doing a few tricks for him, and that really loosened him up a little bit. And then he was really, really nice. Sound guy, met him again then couple of months ago doing a few bits and bobs. Got in trouble a little bit with some of the editors of the show because I made a joke about him being bald. Actually, he loved it, mate. He thought it was great. I think the off with your head 400 years ago. No, it's fine.
I know, but like that's the thing. Like, imagine even him having that personality, and then everybody just coming up to him and just scared to say anything. Like your life would just be like melted.
I think guys like that appreciate it when you have a bit of a laugh with them. You know,
I don't know. He sends his guys just like.
I think everyone just wants to be treated like a normal person. There's some that do keep up the real shtick the whole time, but you crack through to them eventually. I like to try, if I can, when they're in hair and makeup, to go and say hello to them first and sort of not make it too intense, because it can be scary as well. Like, we get a lot of people in that wouldn't necessarily be TV celebrities or like movie stars, and they might be big influencers who'd be fine if they were sat in a podcast recording studio or like filming on a camera, but they might never have been in a TV studio before, and it is a wee bit overwhelming because there's people going everywhere, massive big camera lights, and there's things going off in earpieces and stuff, so you trying to chill them out a wee bit before is important.
I would shit myself.
It is scary. First time I was in doing it would have been a screen test, because even I'd been on Blue Peter a couple of times as a guest, but it was outside in like the Blue Peter garden, so it wasn't really the same thing, and it is a bit freaky. So I think I remembered that, and if there's somebody in, if you get the chance, good to say hello and that sort of thing. Loosen them up. Some of them already know it and are pros by the time they come in. You don't need to. But
have you met King Charles?
Yes, I have.
Really?
I have indeed. Exactly 7 minutes with King Charles. We met him in Liverpool when Eurovision Song Contest was on. He was to walk around the stadium and just inspect it and go, yes, this looks very, very good. So we got to chat to him, and we gave him one of the gold Blue Peter badges, which I've been trying to steal now for ages, but I can't get one. And the tricky thing was, he was so lovely that he kept just trying to make normal conversation with us, but like turning his back to the cameras the whole time. So we sort of had to subtly be like, sir, I'm very sorry, if you could just squeeze around this way, and you're not meant to touch the king, so how do you do that? So I just had to be like, I'm really sorry, but can you turn around? Because none of it was getting picked on camera at all. Zero. And then he had to pin on his little badge, bless him, but like, he asked us to do it for whatever reason, and I'm like, I don't want to be the one that pierce a hole in that 20 grand Savile Row suit. I really don't want to be the one to. So I delegated that off to the co-presenter at the time, Waxy. She did it for me.
He becomes king, does it, like what way? Not like you treat them, but I mean, like, is there new rules that comes up there?
They probably are. We're briefed a little bit, but you have a bit of leeway when you're on Blue Peter, because I see in his case, he apparently, in fact, what we know he did, because we saw the letters, he was a big fan of the show growing up, and he used to write in and that sort of thing. I think that makes a big difference, because you can be a lot more relaxed around them. It tends to be, if you follow those rules to the letter, you come off as being really weird. And if you're like bowing down at the knee and that sort of thing to these people, I don't even think they appreciate it. Maybe sometimes in certain contexts, but for a kids' TV show, it could come across as really, really wooden. So I try to just you don't treat them badly. You just treat them as if
No,
they were another. Which I know they're not really, but they sort of are at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
So, I try not to get too up. I've had a few odd celebrity interactions, but for the most part, it's been all right. It's been pretty fine, and most people have been a lot nicer than I expected them to as well.
What's your odd interaction? Mate? You don't have to say anything.
No, I'll say, no worries. Do you know what? I'll tell you a good one. So I'll tell you the one I was most starstruck from. So I was actually a bit weird, and then I'll tell you just an unusual one I had. So the most starstruck I ever was Darren Brown, who was like my idol growing up. He's a magician, hypnotist, mentalist. And my God, I was watching
Did you do
him
the
since I was
underwater
tiny.
thing like years ago?
That's David Blaine. You're thinking. I haven't actually met David Blaine. I'd love to meet him as well. But Darren, you should look him up. He's amazing, and he would have done. I mean, it'll freak you out though. Like it'll really, really freak you out. He's amazing. And first time I met him, I was properly starstruck, and I even had to say to him, because I met him out for drinks in the Grand Central Hotel after he'd done a show in the Opera House. And I was going in like properly shaking because I thought I could probably recite his television shows back better than he could. I just watched him so much and I was obsessed. And of course he's a normal guy, but he does have this allure about him. Like he can put you to sleep and all sorts of things. He's a hypnotist. So I thought, this is really intimidating, you know. But again, he was really, really nice. But that I was finding myself tripping over words and just coming off saying things. I'm like, why am I even saying this in this conversation? This is so weird. Now I can't stop. I'm already balls deep into this story. What am I going to do? So I prefaced it all by going, Darren, I'm really sorry if I'm acting weird here. Like I promise most of the time I'm actually all right. But I'm just really nervous now. Sorry. And he was very, very nice. So that's the time I was most starstruck. But that's just because it was so niche to me. Like I've met way more famous people, but he was my hero, I suppose, and he was a magician as well, so I looked up to him so much that just made me feel a wee bit like under scrutiny, you know. And it's another one where usually if I was chatting to someone, I do something very different to them, so even if it was like a WWE wrestler, they'll be quite impressed by the fact that I do magic or whatever, but you don't get that whenever you're talking to one of the best magicians of all time. And I sort of thought, I have like lost my USP here or something. I felt sheepish, you know. That was a fun one. Probably the most odd celebrity interaction I had, which was still really, really positive, and he could not have been more pleasant, genuinely, was Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars. Yeah, so
the Joker.
The Joker. So I and still am a massive Jared Leto fan. I think he's amazing. I love 30 Seconds to Mars. His concerts are amazing. But this is it. There's something to him, man. I don't know.
There's no way he's that age. Like,
I don't know what he's doing, bro. But man, I swear to you might be like him. I wonder the last time he was. I did
50 odds.
Mate, he's in his mid 50s now. Yeah, but I swear to God, listen.
You see me? She said same age as Nami.
But it's kind of nuts when you think, because he's about the same age, near enough, as my dad is, and they look very, very different. I'll tell you that much. I was looking into his eyes, and I'm like, you have the eyes of a 12-year-old. It was so bizarre. I don't know how, and just his skin, it's like he had no pores. I don't know what it was, but it didn't look like he had work done either. That's the mad bit. You know when you see people and you're like, God, you look young, but I can see the Botox dripping out your face. Not with him. He just looked pure. I swear to God, he's drinking the blood of something, and I don't know what it is. But mate, he was so lovely. What was odd about it though was it wasn't even for Blue Peter. It was to do TikTok videos together for like his new album was out or something.
I was going to say, was it for the vampire film that was actually shit?
Yeah. Well, he did play Morbius, didn't he?
Yeah,
it wasn't my favourite movie, I have to be honest.
That's sort of a Marvel.
And again, I think he's excellent. I remember I dressed up as him for my final year of school. You had to dress up for children in need, and I dressed up as the Joker. I made a first year cry because I had the grills on my teeth and everything.
He was class at Joker. You what?
What did you say?
I
did, yeah. I was in the music department and I was dressed up with all. I actually had really gone hardcore, and it says a lot about me. But the night before, I'd actually had my friend Aaron do all the fake tattoos all over my head and everything. I slept like that to keep it perfect in the green hair. And I walked in, sat in the music department, and the first year walked by, and I was like that, burst into tears. Felt really bad about that actually, but sure, what can you do? You know,
my school was far different than that. The first. I go, oh yeah, I love Halloween.
What's your favourite one you've done?
I actually like the Joker one. I make them all like really cheaply. So like, but the Joker, I did a Joker, but it was more comic book Joker, like you know, like Jack Nicholson Joker, and then
amazing.
Irish Scissorhands, the Mad Hatter. I like the Mad Hatter.
Mate, I got to do Mad Hatter this year as well. Mine looked horrendous because we did it all like the morning off. I need to see pictures afterwards, see how you looked. Please do.
Because I couldn't find it.
Please
My man
do.
probably has them as a cover photo because my mum makes them all.
No way.
But
Oh,
that's
that's
like,
sweet.
I'll go and be like, here, this is how you make it. She made the hat out of cardboard and all.
No way.
Just get my man.
Mate, it's good to go above and beyond. Hit us up. We could use the help. Do you know what I will say? Actually, my favorite. I'll get into trouble here. One of my favorite people in Blue Peter is our wardrobe leader. Her name's Hannah. I mean, she's tremendous. Like, you'll give her 2 tiny little bits of an outfit, she'll make it work somehow. But she is the nicest person you'll ever met, and she actually made the job so much better just for the first 2 years as well. She's amazing. But I come in the morning and I just see the stuff sat out that I have to wear, and I go, oh dear. I'm kind of full of nonsense. I love it a little bit. I do. I've got to do Sherlock Holmes and Mad Hatter, loads of fun ones.
So today, that's a picture. Eh?
Oh my gosh! Here, zoom in on the FaceTime. My eyesight's cooked. That's how I know I'm 27.
What? Shadow's
Wait, that's unreal.
My Mad Hatter.
You look the business for sure. It's a creepier Mad Hatter than mine was. Mine had to be kids friendly, of course, but that's the way I would have liked to have done it. I wonder, can I find a picture here of me whenever I was as the Joker? I'll find. In fact, I know I'll be able to find it because it was probably the only picture I have from like back in 2017. But I'll be able to find it really, really quick here.
That's but that's crazy. Like, you've met all these people, like, and that's it. See, you just saying there about like Hannah, like, and like, there's so many different people behind the scenes that like you don't realize. And these, like, so does she really work in Blue Peter?
Well, I mean, she does a lot of freelance work as well. She's really, really good, so she gets booked all the time. But
should I get it?
No, I'll find it afterwards and show you me fired in the thing. But a lot of the guys in TV tend to, like, unless you're BBC staff, which is more like the folks in the office and that sort of thing, and the writers, it tends to be a lot of freelancers, which is one of the downsides of the job, because you'll get to know a lot of people, and then before you know it, they're off on the next job, and you might not see them again. And it typically tends to be younger folks as well who are building their careers up if they're not on staff yet. So, like in my case, I'm technically freelance as well, which is hilarious because it'll be 3 years now, and we're still going strong. But you sort of get to know people really, really well, because the way it works essentially with Blue Peter is you do studio stuff, which is when you're in the big Blue Peter studio and you have guests come in and you're doing like interviews or like whatever it happens to be that week. It's different every single week, but most of your time isn't spent in the studio. Most of the time it's traveling around the country in a crew van, going to locations to do the big challenges and that sort of thing. And you get to know the people on that crew so well, because you might spend like 6 months straight basically doing 5.5 hour journeys every few days, eating together, hotels together, everything. So you get to know these folks really well. They become your best friends really, really quickly, and then suddenly you get a call here and they're not going to be there.
I would have a break there.
Mate, it's hard.
It is hard.
Make
friends on holiday. See that their last day you go home. Mate, never going to see you again.
It's exactly like that. It's exactly like that, except spanned out over. I mean, it's how I can totally see how you watch these reality TV shows and these folks are like, how are they saying I love you after 4 weeks? And you're like, I sort of get it now. I do get it. Like, if you're that intensely with people for that long, it would make you think that way a little bit.
Something happened in Love Island there, like, and the girl was like, my man. I was like, I only started a week ago, and here it's mental. 2 days behind. What the fuck's she on about?
But it is so weird. TV has that effect, I think, as well. Like, I became so close as well with co-presenters as well, because you do everything together, and you're up in the morning, the crack of dawn, eating breakfast, you're then filming all day, you're eating lunch, filming more, dinner, car journey home, hotel, do it again the next day, and you do that for days and days sometimes. So they become, I mean, they know things about you some of your closest family and friend wouldn't know, because they're just with you all the time, which is really special. It's the best part of the job for sure.
That's actually, I didn't know that that's like that happened. Like, so how many times does Blue Peter be on a week? So, and that's the mad thing, it's on once a week. All that for one 30-minute show a week. It used to be more back in the heyday because they had more presenters, so they would have like 4 or 5 presenters at one time. There's just 3 of us at the moment. At one stage it was just the 2 of us, and so it's once a week now. Like, they'll re-show clips and stuff throughout the week or whatever, but it's just changing. And it used to be live every single week. When I joined, it was live pretty much all the time. Now it's less frequently live and it's pre-recorded, just like most TV shows now. It's changing. I know that is mad. It's because like BBC. What's it on CBBC? It's BBC. Yeah. But then there's that channel still there because the channel was. Yeah, it's still there. So I mean, for children's, on the TV. Like, yeah, CBBC and CBeebies are still channels, but most people just watch on iPlayer now. As like, I couldn't tell you the last time I watched anything on TV. I can actually. It's when I was in the Ibis Hotel last week, and my phone didn't have any signal or Wi-Fi, and I ended up watching TV, and I thought, might get into this. This is brilliant. So it was fantastic. Just watching all sorts of trash, Gogglebox and all sorts of things. It was brilliant. Can you watch your shows back?
Yeah, you can watch them back.
No, do you watch them back?
I try to as much as possible, and you have to really force yourself to, because you just know you're gonna, and you'll know this from doing the podcast. You'll see things about yourself and little mannerisms you have and the way you speak that you didn't know before.
The guy can only. I think if I got somebody to edit these for me, I wouldn't watch them back.
Yeah,
But
I know what you mean.
I have to watch them back because I'm like, oh, what did I say?
Well, dude, I remember my first TV show I did was with BBC Northern Ireland, and it was a magic show as opposed to Blue Peter. This is, oh goodness me, I was probably 20, 21 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first time I went into the edit suite to see it for the first time after we filmed it, and I actually thought I was going to be sick. I was so anxious about going in, because whenever you're doing on social media, you're seeing it as you record it on your phone and stuff. You know what it's like, but you don't even know when you're being filmed. Now, that quickly disappears if you're doing a show every single week. You see every single angle of yourself, and you know, like, the stuff that you're doing. But it's good to watch it, I think, because you notice some of the things that you probably should work on and change just in general. And you become some of the, I suppose, the way you say things. And to be fair, I don't really think about it as much. Like, if I'm on a podcast here, I'll watch this back and go, God, I sounded so strange and I was looking weird. But you can really turn it on for 30-second chunks, and you can stop doing the weird mannerisms, and you can tighten up the way you speak. This is good though, because it's for a Northern Irish audience. But in England, I have to do the kids' TV voice, I suppose, and speak way more slowly and go higher and go lower, especially voiceover. So it's nice to not have to do that.
People
for once.
won't understand me. Like, I don't even understand.
They probably
myself
would,
sometimes.
man. And like, that's one of the complaints I used to get sometimes is, oh, Joel's great, it's really funny. No idea what you're saying. Not a clue. It was Northern Ireland, no problem.
But I think people put that on. I really do, because there's no way. Because you're like, you can speak any more like pronounce your words. Like, I don't pronounce my words, so I get the why they don't understand me. But like, I don't understand how they can understand you.
Yeah, I suppose it's English kids though.
Oh,
and they just might not.
Parents.
They might not. Well, it probably actually is parents, to be honest. But then people will complain about mad stuff. Like, we've had parents write in that a comma has been in the wrong position when writing out the address for where to send post, for kids to send post, and they'll write in the Offcom saying there was a comma in the wrong place. We've actually had that exact example. It's absolutely bizarre. So people will complain about anything if you give them the chance, and if there's a Northern Irish guy, they'll probably say something. So
has Offcom always been about?
Oh, as far as I know, yeah.
Because like, it's just like, oh, so many Offcom, like back in the day, you only got like Offcom if like somebody was like, my first thing that was into my head is Big Brother, when like the Jade thing was like the racist stuff.
Yeah,
that was very big. But then now you get it on like, somebody has like said something bad in a TV show.
I know.
Yeah, like or like, or somebody's like, oh, I don't even want to say anything because people.
But there's endless examples.
Yeah, and then also like people would do stuff like, maybe like on a show, like I was like, just say like a reality show, and like two people became friends, and then I don't like that person, but that person was being a dick before, but then now they're like, oh, they're into bullies, and it's branded bullies. You're like,
I know, and there's no context on these shows as well, so you don't really know. Funny enough, I don't know if it's still the case, but I think the record number of Offcom complaints for Channel 4 was the Darren Brown show when he did Russian Roulette, or maybe it was Seance. He did like a live seance basically, and that got mad amounts of complaints into Offcom. So compared to that, I kind of got off quite lucky. I used to get complaints about my hair being too long because you couldn't see my face. Like when I joined the show, it was like halfway down over my head. It was like a big undercut. It was strange looking.
Are you an only child or sibling, or is there
No, I have a younger brother and a younger sister. They're over in England now as well. So
I was going to say, because I have two very overprotective sisters, and see anybody who's slapping about me in Offcom, I think they'd be looking to go to their
game
house.
over. I'm the eldest, so sadly there's nobody to protect me. I need to protect myself. My brother used to do all my social media stuff with me. Still does as well now and again, but he's busy. He's working now.
Is that him in the video of all the magic tricks?
Aye, that's my younger brother. Yeah.
Right.
So little sister has more sense. It's 2.5 years between the two of us. But my little sister, she's the smart one at uni, and she's going to go on to be really successful on like an actual job with a pension. Very different with the two of us. So it's good. Mum and Dad will be happy with that.
I don't know what somebody actually said to me the other day, like, about your business, but I'll ask you on all this here. And it's like, and then once we've done all that, we'll actually think about the extent of the pension. I was like, I'll probably not make it that. It's alright.
We're not going to worry about that one. None of us will be here. It'll be fine.
Like, you don't get your pension till you're 70s. Like, no, my luck, I'll probably die 69.
I know. Could you imagine how gutted you'd be as well? Oh, take it all out when you're 50. It'll be fine. All on red. Treat yourself, man. Yeah, treat yourself.
So, you were saying about the wee bit of scandal then you've had with Prince William exposing
yeah.
So is
that was
fun? So what happened
with
that?
It was a whole extravaganza, right? I'll tell you.
It's realistically, It's not that big of a deal, is it?
No, it shouldn't be really, but people are looking
But-
for things to talk about.
Aye.
I know. Well, basically, essentially, what it was, right, is when I joined the show, I thought I would stick around for a year or so, whatever, and then I really enjoyed it, so I stayed for another year, and then I was thinking, you know what? I think this is maybe coming to the time where I might move on, and the main reason for it is that it was only two co-hosts at that point, my friend Abby and myself, and the way it worked out was that I basically never got to see Abby because we were both doing really different types of challenges, and we were opposite side of the country, so basically was doing the job by myself. And then we had another presenter join called Sheeny, and towards the start, chemistry was good on camera and stuff, and they were doing a lot of like her initial challenges, but a lot of them were big physical ones, and they did them as like head-to-head challenges, basically. Yeah. So the two of us were competing against each other. So for the first sort of 4 months of her being on the show, we did everything together, and we became really, really good friends. And I actually decided, you know, I'm gonna stick around for another year because this is I actually have company when doing this. A lot of the time, that just the way it worked out before with two presenters, it just didn't really happen. So we became better and better friends, and as that progressed, I started thinking, oh gosh, I actually like her quite a lot. This is a tricky situation. There's a lot at stake here, and I think she was feeling the same thing. We didn't want to really say anything, so eventually, after a long tense period of neither of us wanting to be the first person to say it, we started dating, basically. But there's a lot of pressure there because we didn't know like how working to take it, and specifically, you know, like her parents didn't know at that point and stuff. So we decided to keep it a secret, and we did it really, really well. And we were very, very professional on set. Nobody knew. With the exception of like my brother maybe and like my best mate. It was really, really quiet, and we kept it very, very secret until by some like miraculous fluke, somehow, as it turns out, apparently somebody was at Buckingham Palace when we were there together, and we must have like been holding hands or something like that for 2 seconds, and they got wind. Now, I don't actually believe somebody was there at Buckingham Palace. I think they said that to scare us in the Commuting, because basically then BBC got a message saying, so we've heard from press office that someone's going to write an article tomorrow about yourself and Sheeny secretly dating. If it's not true, let us know and we'll run it and stuff. Luckily, actually, by pure fluke, we had decided right before then that we were going to hard launch it anyway, so we got there first, and which was good because we were at the BBC One big weekend, so we had lots of photos. So we got there first, which is nice, and we left like, no comment. It's strange though, actually, the reporter who's written, she'll absolutely be listening to this, and she wrote a lovely article, so thank you very, very much for saying nice things. But she's written a few on Blue Peter, so I wasn't sure like whether it was going to be like a hit piece or whether it was going to be something really nice, but the article was perfectly lovely in the end, and they said nice things, so thanks for that. Please write nice ones in the future if you ever
going to speak.
Aye, please. No secrets. But so that basically meant we were in the papers. But it is freaky because the way it works with the news is they have to legally message you beforehand to ask for comment, and when you just get a message being like, there's an article going about you tomorrow, do you want to comment, and you don't really know what they're gonna say or what they might have heard from a source or something, or
how they're gonna write it or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a little bit tricky. Huh? You might get told loosely, but you don't know, because they'll say that like they have a source, for example, and you're like, has one of my best mates like touted or something? You don't really know.
Someone told the story.
You panic, which actually I think is what happened in this case, sadly. But yeah, so that's a wee bit freaky, and you just sort of have to deal with that and see as it comes. But no, it's nice. I mean, as I say, we kind of got there with it.
Some places
it's all right.
Be like strange with like use the co-presenters.
Not really.
Is it more in case it doesn't work out?
I think that's the big fear, and that was a part of the reason that we kept it quiet for a long time, is we didn't want to come out and be like, we're dating, and then be like, well, this might really affect the show. At least this way, when sort of our bosses and stuff knew, we could say, here, listen, if it had been an issue, you would have said something in the last 6 months, but clearly we're capable of making it work without it disrupting the show at all. So that was why we decided to do that. And I think there's more of an issue in like TV and work if there's like an imbalance of power in the role. So if, for example, I was Sheeny's boss, that's her name by the way, Sheeny, if I was her boss, then it's more problematic essentially, because you could like leverage authority over that, or they could use it for whatever reason. But since you're in the same role, it's not really a problem.
It could be worse. You could be like Eamon Holmes and Ruth, who've only ever had a career together.
Do you know what I mean? So
and then it's about the shit.
I know. So in the grand scheme of things, it was all right.
Sorry.
Go on, Eamon. Aye, so
He's not going to be watching. Like, even Bobby Bob.
well, if you are,
Emo.
how's it going?
I call him Emo.
Emo.
I think he went to nice school, did he?
Did he?
I think so.
What school did you go to?
We definitely didn't go to nice school. Did he go to Malagis?
St. Malachy's?
Yeah, he went. He's from he's from close to like where we're from. Is he from New Lodge? He's from New Lodge.
There you go. There you go.
What? Yeah,
You are like an
I ran
encyclopedia.
about-
This
I
is
ran-
amazing.
I
Have
know.
you got like the Neuralink or something done? Because every name you're just
That's all it is.
here. Listen, it's perfect to have it here for the podcast. You will fact check everything this man says. It's tremendous,
She'll go home and like voice.
amazing.
I should go home and voice with me. See when you were saying this about that, because something happened before. And you were talking about somebody
Oh, here.
maybe had an affair or something or somebody.
Aye. Aye.
Yeah, what about her? Why are we talking about? There was no affair I talked about. I just made that part up.
But hey, listen, you'll strike gold if you just keep throwing things out. Eventually, one's going to stick. See, I wish I had your recall for these sorts of facts because. Well, but this is I'll tell you why I want it, right? So I don't know when this is going out, and I'm probably not meant to say anything, but hey ho, it's all right. The reason I'm back in Northern Ireland,
yeah.
so I can. When does this go out? Can I?
I'm
wonder
not
when I say
being
this?
next week or the week after.
Right, I'm sure it'll be all right. If I get into trouble, I'll apologise.
No, just text me and I'll take it out.
Aye, well, I'm doing Celebrity Mastermind tomorrow,
Yeah.
so that's the reason I'm back, and I am absolutely screwed for the general knowledge. Like, I will not have a clue, and I wish I knew anything about pop culture, anything like that. It's gonna absolutely flummox me. So, and I've just found out there earlier on who else is on it as well, and I think they're all like 10 years older than me, so they have 10 years more experience of general knowledge facts. You know what I mean?
10 years slower, but
Well, maybe that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
or 10 years off topic.
So maybe
because
what-
they don't know the younger stuff.
Yeah. See, I wonder whether they skew the questions on purpose to make it more manageable, because
I
they
don't
definitely
know.
dumb them down with the celebrity one.
You're down and all he's on, aren't you?
I'll tell you afterwards. I'll let you know who's on afterwards. And I actually sneakily took a photo of all the people that were on for the whole season, so I'll let you know. But
She's
see,
jumped.
do you know what you could do for me? You could come in secretly, like under here, right? And you could whisper into my ear.
What's that called? Sit on the table, it's like multiple questions for the frame. What's that called?
Okay, millionaire.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
coffin.
Well, here, one of my favorite things is that a friend of mine was on Celeb Mastermind before, and he's Hacker the dog on CBBC. So, you know, like the puppets that used to be on kids'
Yeah.
TV that would talk. Hacker, I think, he was like the funniest guy I know, and fella called Phil. Absolute legend. But he was on Celeb Mastermind, and he was saying, like, mate, I was trying to, because he's a puppet, he was like, I was trying my fastest to just Google questions under the table, like, because he actually would be able to do it as a puppet, but can't get the speed that way. But with ChatGPT, you absolutely could do it. You could he can make a couple of jokes, chill out, and at least get all the answers right.
I'm down to know if he's on it.
I'll let you know afterwards. I'll let you know.
We caught this.
It's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be a good time,
Keep
right?
on.
But I'm absolutely, and Darren Brown's my specialty subject as well. So the second I'm done this, I'm going back to the hotel, ordering a Pepe's chicken and rice box, and I'm just gonna sit till 3 a.m. banging these down, trying to get as much
Where's
info in as
Pepe's?
possible. Lisbon Road, isn't it? Hang on, wait, no. Yeah,
Just
Botanic.
off his arms.
Do you know what I'm thinking of on Lisburn Road? I tell you what I'm thinking. Have you been to Foodies on the Lisburn Road?
No.
Mate, see, whenever I lived here, 5 nights a week, I was going down to Foodies. There's a chicken place in there. If you like chicken and chips and that sort of thing, absolutely unreal. Now wrap up warm, because they mustn't have put the heating on in there for about 6 years. But my God, mate, that place is unbelievable. Me and my best mate used to literally go like 5 times a week. It's unbelievable. So like the best thing about Belfast, it's so good. Foodies, free shout out. Aye, yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
That's
I probably can't say that either. Oh well. Plus Nando's are sending me stuff at the moment, so I'm kind of have to keep them on the good side.
Did your dad like everywhere though?
I'm trying my best.
I couldn't keep up with it. Like I think it would be very like nerve wracking.
Aye, a little bit, but here,
Especially when you
listen.
get used to it.
Worst problems, you know what I mean?
Or like when you feel like everything is going a wee bit like, is it trying out a wee bit? Just go rogue, and then
Yeah.
they've been on at like the child center. He just went pure rogue one day,
Man.
and he's actually really. You get more jobs.
There's maybe something to that. We always have a laugh about that. We're like, when it's time to leave the show, how do you do it? Because you can go out gracefully, or you can go out on top. You know what I mean?
Kicking and screaming.
Now listen, I would quite like the gold Blue Peter badge, so I think I'm gonna go. I'm so full of nonsense. Can't even imagine what it would be that I would do
If you got,
yeah. I'm a little bit of a goody two shoes, so I don't really know.
It's like when sixth years leave school and say they're going to do all sorts, and then for a couple of water burns.
I know,
like,
yeah.
whoa.
But then, like, since I joined Blue Peter, I don't even drink, so there's no even big mad night out stories that could even get me in the press. I'm a bit boring. Like the worst would probably be like what my brother sends me on Instagram reels. Do you know what I mean? Like, I might get him in trouble.
Oh, my group chat, somebody would like a story about me and I'd be screwed. Like,
I know, but the way I always look at it, because there's a bit of fear sometimes. You think, like in group chats, you go, "Oh goodness me! Like, what if one of the boys turned?" And then you think, "Aye, but if they turned, then you turn on them too." You know what I mean? Like, you're all in it together at that point.
there is a thing I remember seeing. It was somebody before was saying about it. It was in a group chat. It was like Holly. I can remember her name every time. Holly Willoughby.
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 How do you say that name? Holly Willoughby?
Willoughby.
Aye.
But she was saying, like, somebody was like, I was in the group chat and I apologise and should have made it done like that. And they were like, I guess it's just the way people talk like in group chats. And she's like, no, they don't. I was like, but see, realistically, like, I'm not a bad person. I know I'm not a bad person.
Be
but
alright.
like, I do, what I say in my group chat's completely different than what I would say. Like,
You gotta take it away from reality.
it's not like a random group chat. It's like me and my mate sitting
Aye.
there and you have a wee bit of banter with your mate, like,
I
we
know.
should be doing this.
Sure, look, it happens. It happens. It's the best of us. I know,
I know.
but it's all a bit of cracks. It's all right. That's
Well,
that's what you
we
would say.
would say
That's
it.
what you'd say in court.
A bit of crack at you with everything.
Sorry.
And then with other twisting it, like making it like different. Like,
Look, all
no.
that's inadmissible, so you're all right. My fear is I just post some absolutely stupid stuff on my Instagram, close friends. Nothing bad. It's usually just videos of me talking, just rubbish, basically, with
Right.
filters on, that sort of thing. And I think even if this got out there, like, it wouldn't be that it would be anything bad or scandalous. People would just think I'm really weird. People might think that anyway, so it's okay. But I do worry because you hear about people getting all sorts of things leaked from group chats. So what's that old story? Was it like Rooney's wife or something? Wasn't there a whole thing with that? You bet you'll know about this.
Oh yeah, I know
Aye.
about that.
Rebecca
Yeah.
Vardy,
Yeah.
yeah.
She called her out a cracker. Like,
Maybe I need to run an experiment, see if anything leaks if I post something fake.
so you could.
I
It would
know.
be me a foil for it. We're joking.
With the big yeah.
She made she
Smart though, isn't it?
something about she put something up like random and then she thought it was her, so she just put it like the story that she was the only person who could view the
It's
story.
clever.
And then she just viewed it, and then the girl was like, "No, I didn't." She's like, "You're the only person who viewed it."
Maybe I'll do that because I'm determined to find out who leaked it, the Daily Mail. So because it was somebody, you know what I mean. So I might do a little split. Say I can't do it now because I've told everyone. So if they were the leak, they'd be watching this.
Yeah.
So I've ruined my chances.
I'll
Sadly.
take that part out.
Sugar. I've bummed
I
my
can take
chances
it
out.
out.
Sadly.
I'll take it out. Don't worry.
I think take that out and then my master plan will be okay. I'll never bother to do it. That's the truth.
I know.
I'll never be arsed. It can't be
See the
bothered.
much things I said I'm going to do in these podcasts. I never do.
Yeah, it's wishful thinking, really, isn't it? Can't be bothered. Well, there goes me not drinking Red Bull on the podcast today. It's going to do it. If you ever want some, I have about 250 cans sat down in my office in Hollywood because
Actually?
because
Did you work for Red Bull?
they used to like send me stuff. I have the Red Bull fridge and stuff, but then when I got the job, I wasn't allowed to show it off. So it's just that. So
What
if you ever
is
want
it-
some free Red Bull, hit us up, brother.
What's the most random thing you've ever got sent?
The most random thing I've ever got sent, I'll tell you, a picture of myself topless. Somebody asked me to sign it and send it back to them. What's weirder is where they sent it as well. Where they sent it was they got wind of where I was doing a run of shows in Southport to do a panto last year, and they found I was doing it, got the address of the theatre, and got it into my dressing room. Where somebody also stole my watch. So if you have that, give me it back. Wasn't a great run for success, but yes, that was a weird one that got sent. But and I got a few of those now. In fairness, nothing really that weird physically. I used to get sent all sorts of things. Just
The
random
people-
things you don't really need for the most part.
See, because obviously, like you're a child percent. They're like, do you get like a lot of fan mail?
Yeah,
So
so it's
like, I don't know if
it's
that's
madness.
because I've aggravated it or people still do it.
people still do it.
I didn't do it either.
Do you know what's mad? Actually, I got one recently. I went in to meet with my accountant.
Yeah.
And he had a letter on the table, and I was like, "Oh, what do I owe?" And I opened it up, and it was a fan letter, and they'd found out my from company's house or something like that, my address for my accountants, and sent it to them because they didn't know my actual address. It's mad. People find a way, but luckily I don't get a lot of it because when you're on Blue Peter, there's actually a team to handle all that. So. You know the way to get a Blue Peter badge when you're a kid, you like to send a drawing in or whatever, or send letters and stuff. There's like it's a mad full system behind the scene because we get thousands and thousands every single week being sent in. There's like 5 people full time that just sit and will read and reply letters because every kid gets a response.
Do you know what's really crazy
mad.
though? Like
Aye.
really, really crazy, and this is like so crazy. My mate Niall
Aye.
just put a post up today that
No
his
way.
daughter got a letter from Blue Peter. And
Shut
I was
up.
like, Niall, that isn't meant that.
No way.
Why is it saying as a
No, that is the universe is telling us something there.
He literally, I went, no way. And then I says, no, that's mad. He's coming on
That's bizarre. That's
my podcast today.
strange timing that.
He was literally like, oh my God, I used to watch he used to watch your videos.
No way.
Where
Must be something wrong with him.
He said, here he was, I want to know exactly what she's doing up in that school to be getting sent. He's a pre-meter.
Wait, that's what I do wonder what she did to get it. Oh my, can I see? I'll promise I'll not tap your phone. Just want I'll just hold it down. Oh my gosh, we'll send her a little video afterwards or something to say. That's so sweet. I wonder who sent that one. I can't see, so I know who on the team sent it. But I mean, they replied to every single one. Aye, isn't that wild? They're an amazing team as well. But I will say, you do get some really, really random stuff in as well. Like we've seen stuff, and I'm like, keep an eye on that kid, because their head's not in the right place at 6 years old. Like, it's just
here,
not.
and I bet you it's the man dad's pretending to be Evans.
That's the other thing. Mate, there's sometimes kids send stuff in, and you're like, you did not draw that. That absolutely was your mum or dad. There's no, and in fact,
like a Van Gogh painting,
like or AI's done it. That's another one you see as well sometimes. But you get, listen, fair play. That was what I do if I was 8 years old now as well. I'd be on ChatGPT in a heartbeat getting it done. But there's been times where like we've had a kid win a competition to like do a specific thing, like a talent, and I can't even say this because if by pure chance the kid is watching, they'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But there's one kid who claimed to do a certain thing, and it absolutely was not them that sent in that work. And then whenever we went to do the film of them doing that skill, they just could not do it, and it was horrendous. Like, it was so awkward, and it wasn't the kid's fault. It was like the parent had obviously done it to try and get this kid like a blue
like
experience or whatever.
Yeah, they make a project. You're like, you're mad Daffy on our A level, and they can see, you can just tell who's mad.
100%, man. Yeah, and it's like, what's the point? Because then
the man probably didn't let them. Probably hitting this head. We're getting this fucking badge.
It is nuts, but. Listen, fair play to them. Listen, get them a Blue Peter badge and get a wee day out. It's all right then, somewhere.
I'm gonna find out if Kayla has one. I'm taking hers. You're going to
absolutely right, mate. Get it stolen. Get it stolen.
Ellen Evans.
Ellen Evans.
Yeah.
Is Ellen Evans sent you a message?
No, she sent that. She wrote that. She wrote that there letter.
I was like, has Ellen Evans, that is my boss, and I was like, has she got wind that I'm doing this? And she's like sent you a message to tell me off.
Get him off now.
I've never had the fear of God in my life for a second. I'm like, that is psychic if that woman's messaged you. Ellen's the person who told me that I got the job for the show. She's the editor.
So she's the one that wrote that letter.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Okay, Ellen, she's lovely.
See when he said that, I was actually a wee bit scared.
It can't be the same person. It just can't. Ellen's amazing. It's like,
why didn't she like randomly like my wee Instagram page just messaged me?
I mean, I was like, has she just found a way to tell me to know I'm doing this? Somehow, what's going on? Oh well, Ellen, if you are watching this, hope you're having a good night. That's the main thing. Mate, that was one of those moments I went into fight or flight for a second. I was really confused. Ellen was the one who told me I got the job, and I was so not expecting to get it. And they usually reveal it over Zoom. They'll like tell you over a Zoom call. That I just thought it was another catch-up call to just talk about like what the process was next after the screen test. I was like just out of the gym with like a baseball cap on and looked an absolute mess, and I picked up and like, because I really didn't think I was gonna get it. Like I just sort of won the screen test, and she was like, "Oh, so you're our next Blue Peter presenter?" And I was like, oh, and I didn't believe it was real, so I gave no reaction at all, and that was actually meant to be in the show, and they never used it because I looked in absolute state, and I was like, right, okay, let me think about it, because I didn't think it was. I just didn't think it was an actual offer. I thought they were just teasing the idea or something. You know what I mean? But then like
reverse psychology. I'll think about it if I really want it or not. Like, no,
I know. Let me just talk to my people. My people being like me and my brother. You know what I mean? Because I didn't even have an agent at the time. I just ended up with my last managers at that point. So I really was flying solo at that stage. Is it important to have an agent? I think it is. It depends what you're trying to do. I mean, at the moment, I find it really useful doing TV work just because. Like, there's a lot more that goes in just like in any little job. I think if you're social media influencers and you're just starting out, I wouldn't say it's the most important thing, especially these days, literally with things like AI and stuff that can teach you about contracts and rates and that sort of thing. You could probably do it yourself. But I enjoyed it because I'm just quite forgetful. So I liked it at the start of the week. I can look in the diaries, being just sorted out, and I know where I'm going, especially if there's a lot of travel involved. But it's definitely not like the most important thing. Plus, you'd be better having no agent than a bad one as well.
Really?
Like that's I mean, it's it's a big chunk right off the top if they're not doing their job well. So.
And then back in the day, it sort of would have been like in music sort of industry and stuff like that. Back your agents sort of like can fuck people over, really, can't they?
Yeah, and I think
Not
it was
probably
maybe
as
more
much
important there
anymore,
as
but-
well, though, because like these days it's a bit more of an open playing field with social and that sort of thing, to where you can find work yourself. Like in what other world beforehand, unless you were going to write a letter and post out to some brand or something, you couldn't really get in touch with people.
It was like Elvis's whole film not about his agent being so bad,
Yeah,
isn't it? Actually,
And who is it plays? Is it Tom Hanks plays his agent or something? Aye, but he's done all the prosthetics and stuff, isn't he? I watched that on the plane going over to Japan. That was a good time. I liked that movie, the Elvis one. That was good.
I watched it, but I can't remember.
I don't know if I
Aye,
liked it or if I was just bored on a flight and it was like the best of a bad bunch of movies, you know.
When did you go to Japan?
Last October, it was amazing.
Just past?
Aye,
So did I.
get yourself to Japan. Oh, you've been
Yeah,
in October?
October.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's mental. What were you up to when you were there?
the 30th.
Ah, tremendous.
I was only back. I only.
You went in October, came back in September.
We were there for a year.
Mate, as you should. Treat yourself.
We went
Bet
to-
you loved it though, did you?
Oh,
Mate,
unreal.
it's unreal.
And it's one of them ones. I would say I'm very anti-climax type of person. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
once I'm there, I'm like,
Right.
But like I think until like I got to Tokyo, I was just like, I don't rate its class, but don't see what the fucking fuss is about.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then you
yeah.
get to Tokyo and you're just
Mate,
like, whoa.
it's unbelievable. We had the week in Tokyo basically, and I could live there 100%.
7-Eleven.
Absolutely 7-Eleven, baby. I mean, that is the place. And then even just, I think I like Asian food in general.
Yeah.
It was just my vibe, and it was so quiet, and which is mad. It's like quite a peaceful city in some
We met
places.
the Raven on that though, so some hard from us.
Well, see, that wasn't quite the TV kids agenda, you know what I mean?
I know.
I did get to do a sushi making masterclass and some sumo wrestling. That was
Did
pretty
you?
fun, huh? But I loved it, man. It's so cool, and everyone's really sort of friendly, I suppose, and dressed cool.
But
And
like, see, no matter how, like, as I said this, and I came back, I was like, no matter like how good you think you dress,
Oh,
like,
man.
I don't think you could ever even be like,
no,
and there's no like, you're gonna like really insult a lot of people there.
here we
There's
go.
no like ranks of like what way people dress. Or, like no way we can look around and be like, right, they're a chomp, or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah, I know what you
like,
mean.
or like that's a smick. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They sort of like
They don't
all
have that.
their own individual like cool style, but like.
Absolutely, yeah. I know what you're saying, man. It was so cool. I had the best day of my life going into Uniqlo. I was absolutely loving it. It was so good, and it was tax free as well for some whatever reason. Don't know how that works.
And that's the one. Like you just put your basket on the
Right.
thing, and it just says how much everything
Listen,
is.
right, I'm
You
gonna
don't have
tell
to scan
something.
anything.
Connor, here.
Huh?
I'm just gonna tell you something right now.
What?
I've done magic 22 years. How does that work?
I don't know.
Because mate, that is magic. Like and people are like, it's a security. How can it? It can't. It's paper. Like, mate, what's going on there? And I know I could ChatGPT the answer, but I'm not gonna because I love the mystery of that. You know, it knows before it's even in the basket
I know.
sometimes as well. I mean, that is unbelievable.
And then it also can get you can like instead of carrying it about if you like you can just tell it to bring it back to your hotel. Like somebody just brings it back to your hotel.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know about this.
yeah. So
What's this?
you could just then to just say like you're going about shopping.
Aye.
You can there's an option to get it put back like like delivered.
No.
Yeah.
I missed a trick there.
And they also missed the trick. You shouldn't ever miss a trick.
The hotels in Japan were amazing as well. Luckily it was one of the only times doing Blue Peter we were in one place for the entire time. So I actually settled in to the hotel. The only shameful thing was there was like a sort of spa upstairs
Yeah.
that I wasn't able to use because of all the tattoos. For whatever reason, it was like a no tattoo zone.
Oh.
Well, they actually gave me loads of plasters, and I'm like, this is gonna take me forever to try and put like
I
15
did.
plasters on.
I seen that, but then I forgot about it while I was there. But nobody really.
And you were all right.
Aye.
We
I don't
got
really
in
think they
trouble
were
though
gonna-
eating on the streets. That's what nearly did us because we were going 7-Eleven and just like eating ice cream in the streets and thought I think you can actually get in big trouble for that.
But I think there was a lot of rules that like they did like they was sort of broke a wee bit because like, but I
Mm.
didn't realize that I was breaking them. So there's no bins in the streets.
Yeah,
There's no word of like cigarette butts in the
and
streets.
vapes as well. There's reset areas, aren't there?
But they're inside the place. So like I didn't realize
Yeah.
our hotel. Know where we were. I don't even know if you all went near. If you went to Tokyo, because obviously Tokyo's massive.
Mm.
But there's like a Hong Kong hotel. And we were that's where we stayed. I
Nice.
don't even know what you call it. Like that's so like, but it was right in the square.
like Shibuya sort of area,
I can't even remember what part I stayed at.
like the big crossing sort of place.
Yeah.
In and around there.
Yeah,
It's
is that right,
a
Wes?
more.
So see, like tomorrow,
Mm.
it's like multiple choice questions.
No, that's why I'm really nervous.
It's like it may all come back to you then.
And they can ask you anything.
And is it people from all over?
Pretty much, yeah. This one, yeah. I think I'm the only Northern Irish person.
Here,
Aye.
fishing for celebrities. I am.
I'm gonna let you know the gossip afterwards. But yeah, I'm not gonna know for that one. The way I see it though is it's like, right, listen, I think quite good at one thing, which is magic, and I've sort of never really bothered learning much else because anything else you can just Google in the moment. So that's fine until you do a quiz show. then you're wishing you had paid more attention to the world.
Like, I even think growing up, like, I remember my Grande used to sit, like, my daddy and all would have been there and watch waiting on the dinner, like, weakest link, and then shout out all the answers. I'm like, watching me, like, they're like, wrong. And I'm like,
well, see, I feel like as well, when you're sitting watching it, you almost do get more answers right because you're not under the pressure probably that they're under to say.
God's sake.
I know. I feel like I was just doing test rounds with my girlfriend. She was like setting a timer and asking me questions. And I'd answer a question, and straight after I'd said it and got it wrong, I'd go, I actually did know the answer to that, but because there's a big
pressure.
clock going, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I think it's 1 minute 30 for each round or something like that. Oh, not for me.
We should do one now.
Should we do it?
Oh my God, well,
tell you what, why do you do that? I'm going to use the bathroom while we go. We can put a big break in the video here.
Yeah, no. Oh, because it didn't tell. It hasn't given me the answers.
90s. So you need to say with answers, or it'll put it down below.
It's giving me the answers like they asked more Mastermind because the first ones were a bit like homework diary.
Ah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's get them niche. Yeah. Very, very niche. We'll do a little practice.
You say it's a minute and 30 seconds.
A minute and 30. Oh, the general knowledge round is 2 minutes. Actually, I think I should know that, but I don't.
We've only got like 5 questions in the general knowledge, so 2 minutes. We've given you too much time.
Ask it. Just say, give me 20 general knowledge questions. That shall do it. Oh, it's not. I just assumed you're using AI. Are you just googling it? You made them up. You're the brains of the operation.
I should actually just say that. Like,
I would believe you. I would have. I'm very trusting soul.
A minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's get the pain over with.
Right.
And then I'm gonna do this in return. I hope you know this. Like it's gonna bounce back at you. Just
no.
Yeah. It has to be done right. So is this my round or your? This is my round. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
What's the smallest country in the world?
Vatican City.
Who painted the Mona Lisa?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Well done.
Yes.
What's the chemical symbol for gold?
AU. Is that right?
Yeah.
3 for 3, baby.
In what year did the Berlin Wall fall?
Ooh, 1942.
1989.
No idea.
That's
so far off.
I know. But here I thought that was way later. So
I just thought, when did World War II sort of end? They're completely. Anyway, sorry. Time. Yeah.
What's the capital of Canada?
Ottawa.
You're really smart.
Thanks.
Who directed Jaws?
Spielberg.
Yep. What's the name of the coffee shop in France?
Oh, I should. General Perk.
Central Park.
Central Perk.
Perk. It is Perk, not Park.
Oh, give us a half point there, will you?
Yeah, you probably might have got these wrong. I can't read.
This is encouraging me a bit. I thought this would be going a lot worse.
Who played Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy?
Christian Bale.
Yeah. What color is the lightsaber of Yoda?
Green.
What is the longest running soap opera in UK?
Coronation Street.
Who's known as the Queen of Pop?
The Queen of Pop. Who's the Queen of Pop? No idea.
Madonna.
Madonna. There you go. Do you know what? Aye.
That's
I think
good.
we did okay. That's not too bad.
And see, also, like, it's Celebrity Mastermind. The questions are not going to be like.
Yeah, because we are actually all idiots. Actually, do you know that's not true? Celebrity, we're all idiots. Do you know what it is? No, I'll tell you what it is. Right, is most celebrities that I've met, not all, but most of the ones, especially if they're on Blue Peter, are usually incredibly clever at like one thing. Like the reason they're famous usually is because they're so good at something, but because they're so good at something, they're usually useless at everything else. And so then they can probably come across as quite thick in other areas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if someone's the best snowboarder in the world, like they're not going to be necessarily good at. Did I hear a fly? Or am I getting tinnitus? I think it's because I was cleaning my ears in the earbud earlier and something just moved inside my ear. That's not good. Right. Anyway, your turn now. So give me.
We're not doing mine.
Let's do it.
We're doing mine for a laugh and see what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. We have to.
I just go like pass.
Right, and do you know what? We'll let you have the assistance of the girls as well. Okay.
She volunteers as tribute.
Yeah. I'm actually very interested to see how this goes. Oh, okay, hang on. With
Go
answers.
and here and write for somebody that only has 4 GCSEs. One is an art and one is music.
Let's actually write that and see how much it changes it for somebody with 4 GCSEs. Let's see. It said, got it.
A 4
Here's
GCSEs, but I have a degree. That
okay, show me answers beside the questions, because I need to know if you've got them right or not. Right, okay, here we go. We're back in business now.
Don't be putting the timer.
So before you start, right, I'll do it the way they're going to do it tomorrow for practice. So they'll say your name,
Connor Quinn,
your occupation,
videographer,
your chosen charity.
My man.
Connor Quinn Productions.
Hi, Connor Quinn Productions.
Okay, and this is your general knowledge test. Time starts now. These are a bit easier. What's the capital city of France?
Paris.
How many legs does a spider have?
8.
Who's the current king of the United Kingdom?
King George.
Should I change the question?
Oh, keep going. I'm gonna win.
Oh, what gas do plants breathe in that humans breathe out? So
Oxygen?
I'll repeat that. I'll repeat it because I asked it badly. What gas do plants breathe in
Oxygen?
that humans breathe out? Carbon dioxide.
Oh.
Who wrote the Harry Potter books?
J.K. Rowling.
Correct. What is the name of the red fruit often mistaken for a vegetable?
Tomato.
Correct. What is the largest ocean in the world?
Pacific.
Correct. Who painted the Mona Lisa? We've asked that one already. How many minutes are in 1 hour?
60.
Correct. Which planet is known as the red planet?
Mars.
In what sport do you score a goal with your foot?
I question that though.
Oh, mate, this is...
Can I go on? I go on.
This is so damn it. Yeah, I give you full marks. That's very well done. That's tremendous. Mate, that you slapped there. But mate, I swear to God, if they asked you those questions on the show, I bet you I'd get half them wrong just because the pressure. That's what I'm worried about.
But I was like, tomato.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But then you might say something daft at the time. Like, I'd be worried they'd ask me something. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was being quizzed earlier on today, my girlfriend asked me, what does the BBC stand for? And I forgot. I was just under pressure. I couldn't remember what the C stood for.
British Broadcasting Channel or something?
Corporation, apparently.
Corporation.
But yeah, something like that. So, I don't know. Yeah, it is British Broadcasting Corporation, yeah. But anyway, so hopefully they don't ask me anything like that.
The blind girl with Bradley Walsh, and she just panicked the whole time and didn't even let him finish the question. She just kept going, pass.
Oh my
pass.
gosh, no.
Like,
that'll be me.
But she was only, even at the end of the minute, safe to say you passed them a couple hours, you passed them every single one.
I might just do that as my strategy though, because if they even start saying what capital city, I'll say pass right away because I won't know the answer.
I thought that was going to be harder. Like I was going to be definitely harder.
Well, we've done all right there in the end. We've done all right. The two of us can go and be proud of ourselves.
That's it.
I'm very happy with that performance.
I was good.
And you didn't even need help from your friends.
Help.
Yeah.
Help me.
That's good. That's good.
Good
Pressure soul.
So you have what's coming up these days? So you have two shows here, don't you?
Excuse me, just drinking my Fanta. I certainly do. 2 live shows coming up in. I nearly forgot the dates then. So I will be there. September 26th and September 28th. I'll be in the Mac in Belfast. So that was the last time I was in Northern Ireland at the Mac as well. And the Courthouse in Bangor, which I've done before as well. 2 great wee rooms. So they're coming up in September. And, I would say this, but it's the best show I've done yet. Which I'm actually dead excited for this one, though I am.
See, the Mac, I always forget the Mac has like a space, and we went there before. The Mac space is actually class.
It's pretty big as well.
It is.
It's a few hundred people you can fit in, but it's perfect for magic because, say, take the Ulster Hall or whatever, which is like a big room. It's actually too big for magic unless you've got huge, big visual screens and stuff, which I'm not really a fan of. Things get lost down the back, so I like a slightly smaller room, and it just feels a bit more intimate and fun. So.
No, but I know what you mean, though. It would be like that, like, and people need to concentrate and look at stuff and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and bless, like, people just might not have great eyesight. Like, there's a practicality to that as well for magic. So, I think we picked 2 really good spaces, and it's just good to be back home because, I think everyone from Northern Ireland feels this a bit, especially if they're a performer. You can't really beat it. It's the best audiences because there's like, especially for magic, there's the perfect level of like having a laugh, but also a slight cynicism as well. And people are so skeptical too that it makes for a really fun night. So I can't wait. It's gonna
Do
be
you
great.
ever have to like put the pressure on like the way comedians that have to learn like new material? Do you feel like you have to learn those things?
I try to rewrite the show every 2 years, so I think that's more just for me as well, because I would get bored if I was doing the same stuff over and over and over again. But equally, it means that people can feel confident that they can come back, bring the family again, and they're not going to see the same thing twice. There might be some of like the classic favourites and stuff, and maybe over years you could repeat stuff, but I just like to keep it fresh as well, because it pushes you to keep growing, I think.
And then do you ever just get people who are just really like, can you just fucking tell me how you done that?
Yeah, I do.
I think I'd be like, I'm like, how'd you do it, bud?
Well, here, maybe I should show you something.
Yeah,
Should I show you
I was
something?
going to say how we'll end on that,
We could do a bit of magic for the crack. Show you a few things for fun. Now, I know there'll be people that are also listening to this as well, so we'll probably have to, rather than just watching the video, so we might have to spell out what's happening a little bit, but I'll give you a little taster for what you might expect in the show. I'll do different material now.
Majority of our viewers are on view though. They like to watch because we do.
Tremendous.
I think a lot of people we have on are very animated, aka my sister's face.
Right.
It's not our show's very animated. We have to watch, so we've always built a following for people watching it.
So I think it's most people are consuming
Sometimes
podcasts like that.
Sometimes I forget to put it on Spotify.
Funny that though, isn't it? It's interesting. See, I think any podcast that I watch, I say I'm watching a podcast. Isn't that mad? The meaning of the words really changed. Bizarre. I'll tell you what, right? I'll show you a card trick just to warm up, because listen, card tricks, that's how I started. So I'll just warm my hands up, and then I'll show you something a bit trickier. I don't know if it's going to work, but I want to give it a try just to see. Because I was thinking I might try something. Should we repo a little bit and pull the mics in just for a second, and then we can, and we can cut all this boring bit. Just it means I can use this as a little bit of a surface for you. It means it should be a bit easier. It's so long as it's convenient for you too. If you want to keep it there so you can keep an eye on it, or is that all good?
Am I in the chat anymore? Am I in the chat?
Right. We might need to do you want a repo?
Yeah.
I will.
What's that mean?
Oh, I see, that's a stupid TV term, like reposition. But people were saying TV terms all the time, man, and I had no idea what they meant for the longest time. They would be like, pick up that 2-shot on 24, and I'm like, what are you actually talking about, man? Just for fun, you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows if it'll work?
I don't think I get the reading.
Well,
I get to know.
I am going to tell you everything you've ever wanted to know about yourself and others. I'll do a simple card trick, right? This is one of the first card tricks I ever learned, but I like to start with something simple just to gauge for like whether I think this trickier thing will work. Simple card trick. I'll let you see, because some people do think it's cheat. It is just a pack of cards. I'll let you check them out in a second if you want. But can you see all the cards are different, etc., etc., etc. Right. Now, very conveniently, there's a nice mirror there, and there's also a glass sort of reflection. So when I get you to pick a card, I'll actually close my eyes so you don't think I'm just like maybe watching a monitor if you're watching at home or something. But I'll give these a mix first so you know they are shuffled, and then you can just take a card, show the guys, but don't let me see. And it could be anyone you want. Now, don't let me influence your choice at all. You could have gone for that to make my job easier, but that's all right. No, I'm teasing. If I close my eyes, show that around. Hey, girls, have you seen the card okay?
Yeah.
You have. Is it safe if I open my eyes now, Connor, or will I see what the card is?
Yeah,
it's safe. If you pop it doesn't have to be exact, but about there. And I'm going to leave it sticking out for a second so you can see this. You can see the moment it goes into the pack. I'll leave it here just like this. Now, the idea would be that I'll try and find your card. Obviously, that's what the trick will always be about in Magic, right? But I'll try and do it in a sort of fun way. So you get to choose. Do you want to tell me what the card is, or do you want to keep it a secret?
I forget what the card was.
Well, luckily,
I know what the card is.
We have three people to pull this out. If you do remember it,
I do remember.
Mate, it's hard. Anytime I forget, whenever magicians are doing tricks on me, I forget half the time. I don't usually have to remember the card. You know,
I think I was too busy trying not to for you to say it.
Well, we'll see how this goes. Then see. Doesn't really matter what card you say anyway. Which card did you pick? Actually, you can tell me or not tell me. It's your choice.
Yeah, tell. Wasn't it 2 of spades?
Yeah, two of spades, right? So what you can do, if you just put your finger on the top of the pack for a second and just say 2 of spades.
2 of spades. And
it sends a signal down into the pack, you see. Did you feel anything? Or? Did you? You felt the magic? That's good. Lift your finger for a second. I want to show it's not on the top or something like that. It's the 8 of spades. It's not on the bottom because you saw it go into the middle, right? And it is still there. That card is still there. Bearing in mind, you could have picked any card, anyone you wanted. Now, one does start to stand out a little bit more than the rest. Can you see that on the camera? I'm going to show you. There's one that looks a bit different. Maybe for the people listening, you can explain. One card in the pack is red. You said the 3 of spades?
2.
Did you say 2?
Yeah.
That's good. That's the 2 of spades. That's your 2 of spades. That was first time lucky, right? So I'll do something a bit different this time. We'll do it again, right? This time, make it harder for me because you told me what the card was, right? So if you touch one on the back with your finger, you can just don't even need to take it out this time. This one, I'll just show the cameras to speed up. I'll let you show this one. Have a look yourself.
Yeah.
Show this camera as well. Why not? Have a little look. And I'll give you these. Give them a little shuffle for me. Just a little mix.
Something I can't do.
The pressure is on, brother. The pressure is on. Well, then, creatively mix, I suppose. That looks pretty good. That makes my job easier, believe it or not.
Does it?
It'll happen in your hands, right? So, put them between your hands.
Hang on, I can't get them.
This time,
It's good. This is a comedy podcast.
you've done well to keep me in your hands,
I
though.
don't know.
They'd usually be on the floor by now. Cover them so I can't tell.
Cover them, I got.
The same thing's going to happen again. They say you're not meant to do the same trick twice, but in this case, we are going to do it. So, don't tell me what the card was this time.
Yeah.
Just keep it in your head, and I'll try and gauge for what that might be. Do you remember it? We can pick a new one. If not, it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Well, yeah, you can just tell me what it is.
Yeah.
I'll not touch them
No,
this
no,
time.
No, I know.
Yeah. I'm going to really struggle to figure this one out, yeah. I see you going to go, so I'm going to say it's probably a jack, but I'm guessing. Go ahead, just say it. It's all right.
Jack hearts. Jack of hearts. Is that what?
You happy with that one?
No, it's heart.
Oh,
It's hearts.
it's actually red.
It's hearts.
It actually doesn't matter. It's whatever
It was
you
hearts.
say.
It was
Do
hearts.
you want hearts or diamonds?
No, it was hearts.
You sure?
Jack of hearts.
We'll do the jack hearts. Could be jack. It doesn't matter. Hearts?
Yeah.
Okay. You can kind of name another card if you want. Or we
No,
can do
no, mate, I
hearts.
swear to God,
You
that's
should-
what that was.
It doesn't matter what card it is. It's just whatever you say, basically. So if you want to change, you can. Or you
What
can
was
stick.
that? What was that?
What was that?
Sure.
You sure what's it? Yeah, I know.
Are you,
I'm so
are
shit
you,
at
no,
that.
no, are you happy with that though?
Yeah.
You don't want to change? You're good.
No,
Okay.
good.
Jack of hearts.
Yeah.
So if I just like this, and if you pass me the deck really slowly, you'll see again. And again, I even gave you the chance to name any card you wanted, right? You'll see all these cards are blue. Every single one except one in the middle is red. Sorry. It should be there. It might be stuck because it's a bit warm in here. Hang on. Oh. Forgot. There's like a rule with the trick where only one card can be read at a time, you see. You be keeping an eye on that red card on the table?
What? I'm so confused.
Do you remember your
Yeah.
the first time it happened?
Aye.
So it can only be one at once. So have a look. That was your two of spades. That starts to look more like your jack of hearts.
I thought it was starting. I thought it was starting to turn.
You're like, I'm starting to see things.
What?
Look at the most awkward laugh ever.
Oh, that's mad. I swear.
Thanks, man. Well, that was just us warming up. We'll do something really, really cool now if you want to see something.
Why not?
Why not? Indeed. Here, you can get rid of that for now. Tell you what, I'll actually put a bit of money on this one just for the crack, right? Just to see. I'll show you something in just a second here. But do you want to mix these more? Are you happy?
You can mix them.
You okay? Shall we do? Do you know
I
what?
thought I didn't mix them properly, and that's why.
I think you just did a wonderful job. Do you know what they call this actually in Magic? If you do that, do you know what they call that?
What?
It's called a riffle shuffle, and then they call this giving them a cut like that. That's called
and more like a chuckle
called a
shuffle.
spring. Exactly. They would call what you did like a wash. That's what they would call that. Yeah, a wash. This is like all the showing off stuff, right? But the idea is you're happy they're mixed. That sort of thing, right? I'll put some money on this
should just
in a
have a gambit.
second. Do you know what? You think I haven't tried?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, these days, if you try and cheat at cards, like we find it like a little local family game or something, but if you're in a real casino, all the cards are chipped. So they know what's on the table from RFID scanners and that sort of thing. So you get caught out, just kicked right out, sadly. But yeah, I'll show you out some card cheating afterwards. Just to see for giggles. Let me grab, you know, I'll give you a pillow here because this will make this a bit easier for you. Right, I'll put the cards on the pillow. I keep going to say table because I'm out of habit saying that.
Yeah.
Pick up any amount of cards you want. Do you want me to shuffle them more first? Are you happy?
No, sorry.
Yeah, lift any amount. We'll get rid of the ones you don't lift up, basically. Those? Okay. And if you had to guess in your hand right now, how many cards would you say you've got?
Fuck. About 8.
8?
No, that's definitely not
What do you reckon?
I have no idea, actually.
Take a guess. If you get it right,
12.
12. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 cards. Close. You're not a million miles off.
8 though.
Now look, I should say, I know you mixed the cards before, and then I asked you, did you want to get them mixed again? But depending how you mix them, and if you told me to mix or not, we'd have different cards here. You
Yeah.
agree, right? And if you'd picked up somewhere else, we'd have a different set of cards here. Yeah. Okay, that's important for a second. I want you to do this, not me, because I think you'll accuse me of cheating. Yeah. But if you take the cards, and if you deal them into 4 equal piles, so just boom, 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 boom. This feels like it's going to be some sort of math trip, but keep them face down so I can't see. And we're going to keep these here for quite a while, so we'll make sure they're nicely spaced out. Just keep going until you run out of cards like that. You're all good. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm going to be on like damage control here.
She gasps.
Damage control. Don't worry, we're all good. We're all good. This is splendid. That's perfect. And I just want to leave these exactly the way they were, because I don't want you thinking I'm doing some mad sleight of hand. Right? This is fine. Okay, let's leave them exactly there and not move them. We would have different cards in different positions if you had done one thing differently, basically, is what I'm trying to point out. I'm going to make a bet. I'm going to stick 10, 20, 30, 40, £10. It's like £10. I'm not feeling very confident about this. 10 quid of my own hard-earned money. Stick that in your pocket for now, and if I don't get this right, you can keep it. But otherwise,
I'll give you it back.
Otherwise, you get it back.
I'll give you it back.
Thank you, sir. You're
No
a good
matter
man.
what.
Tell you what, just to say this works, I've got a list on my phone I'm going to show you in a little second. Before I do, and you can make sure I'm not cheating, I'll go ahead and tell you what the... In fact, I'll keep it a surprise. Give me a number 1 to 100, and it is a free choice. You can change your mind if you like.
12.
You can change if you want, or you can stick with 12.
12.
You sure? Positive?
Mm-hmm.
Last chance?
Yeah.
Because I don't want you thinking afterwards, if I just changed, I would have got him. Do you want to change? Or do you want to stick?
No, let's let it off.
Sure.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't cheat here. I've got a privacy screen on, so I'm going to turn this so you can actually see that I'm not doing anything funny. And go to my here. You do it because you'll think I'm cheating. Go to my notes. And then is there a list there that says like 100 greatest movies of all time? Do you see that there on the list? Click into it there, and if you just check, and for the people at home, check that they really are different. Every single one of those, right? You can show them. And confirm, you can scroll the whole way down to the bottom, check there's no like repeats or anything like that. Every single one is different. To be honest, I just ripped it off IMDb, so that is just the list. Yeah. What number you say? 12? 12. Have a look at what's at number 12 there for me, and it really doesn't matter what movie it is. Yeah. You can tell me what it is, it's fine.
Star Wars.
A New Hope. You've seen that movie?
No.
It's a good movie. It's good. But had you said 10, we would have had Lawrence of Arabia. It's a good movie. 13 would have been Psycho. It's a good movie. Number 1's Wizard of Oz, apparently. But Star Wars, A New Hope, right? I'm going to pull this up. Do you know the old IMDb, where it shows you about movies? I'll pull this up here. And we'll pull one up for here. Let's see. Tremendous. Yeah. Right, just to see the guys at home. Star Wars, A New Hope. Now, you could have said any number you wanted. Do you want me to show the... When Star Wars New Hope.
They're resetting their cameras.
Don't worry. See if you're at home watching and you're thinking this is some sort of trick or setup. You can actually do this yourself and go to the IMDb for Star Wars: A New Hope or any. It could have been any of the movies. Basically, that's the thing. So it's worth bearing that in mind. And if you really think this is some sort of setup, you can go to the real IMDb, check that this isn't some sort of rig or some sort of weird thing. What I'm going to have you do, basically, we'll do a practice run first. Is just scroll like this, and we're going to see where it lands up at the top right. So, for example. Give it a practice go, so just give it like a swipe up that way, and this will be your practice. So just with one finger, just swipe it, and that will be our practice run. In that case, kind of the thing at the top is like a number, basically, or like the word summary, I suppose. Yeah, that's a practice go. So we'll do this for real. I'll bring it back up to the top, and this is the one for real. Now we'll try and get this so the camera can get it, but I don't want to change it. So when you do it, if you think I'm trying to interject and like change the speed or something,
I'm nervous.
You do it. This is the real one.
You think I was giving blood?
Give it a swipe. That was a good one. Has it stopped? I can't see on the privacy screen. Has it? Can you see what word it stopped on?
Memorable.
Memorable. Yeah. That is that where it stopped. Where? Yeah. You're happy.
Yeah.
Now look, is that exact? That's exactly where it stopped. You didn't see me change anything or do anything weird. Now, it's important to say that because if you just the tiniest bit with your finger, a bit more, it could have gone down further, and you've got westerns or creates or themes. Or if you'd done it a bit less, we could have had celebrated, special effect, memorable. But then again, as well, had you said a different number, we would have started off with a different movie, and it would have been a completely different set of words. You can look up any of the movies on the IMDb. You ended up in the word memorable.
Yeah.
I knew that. Thank you.
I'm getting so nervous.
No, I did. I did know that you were going to get the word memorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get the £10 back because I knew.
Yeah, you can have it back. How did you know?
Oh, you'd probably. Some people want me to prove it. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe even holding on to that tenner.
Yeah.
Have a look what's written on it.
Memorable? What the hell, mate?
I like that. Thanks.
I was so confused.
I was so confused. I was like, what's going
Where
on
is
here?
this going? Was it this waste of time?
I thought I'd done it wrong.
You did a
I'd be like, what's
splendid
going on?
job.
Mate, that's mad.
Hold on to it for a sec. Here's the thing, right? It's a bit more weird because you also were the person who shuffled the cards and you cut off whatever cards you wanted
Yeah.
and you dealt them into 4 piles. And like, look, you could have picked up anywhere and you could have shuffled any number away and had any of these cards, kings, twos, sevens, nines, they're all different. But we've basically ended up in this position, right? So I'm going to flip over these cards here and I'm going to pinch them in my hand for a little second, just like this. I don't want them to fall, just the top 4 like that. We can get rid of the rest of these, right? And I'll show just for you. You can see they're all different, right? We've ended up on these 4 cards. I don't know if this is gonna work, but it's worth a try. Every bank in circulation produces their notes with a different serial number, right?
Yeah.
What are the last 4 digits of the serial number on that bill?
9912. No way.
9912.
No way, mate.
Which incidentally, by the way, is the exact number of Instagram followers on your page right now. Not really, but how good would that be? That would have been amazing. Oh, dear. Imagine the video got exactly like 9,912 views. Freak you out. There we go. Oh, thank you. Yes, I will take my money back. That's
You will,
good.
mate. I won the cat anyway, to be
I
honest.
need to, that to bribe the Mastermind people tomorrow, so that's good. There we go.
That's mad though. Like I couldn't even try. I wouldn't be one of them people that would go like, how did they do that and all? Like, I think everybody knows their tricks.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people try to be like, oh no, it's you've just done this, and like, the whole fact is it's a fucking trick.
Oh,
then.
100%. I've never liked the idea of pretending that it's actually magic. That's
Right.
never really appealed to me at all. And some people do it, and they do it really well. But for me, I've just always maybe find that a tiny bit cringe. So just for me, like I've seen people who do it really, really well. It's weird because you get people that even when you tell them it's tricks, they're still like, no, that is magic. And I'm like, I'm actually happy if you just believe
You're
that.
like an X-Men
If you're
or
a happier person for that, yeah, crack on. You know what I mean? So, but I hope you liked it. So
That was
thanks.
class. That was. So, where can people get tickets for your show? See you on more stuff like that.
They can get tickets if they go to my Instagram. There'll be a link in the bio there. Instagram's it's Joel M, so ITSJWELM, or just go to the websites of the venues, which is the Mac or the Banker Courthouse or nicomedy.com. You'll find them there.
And not Joel M for Magic for Mooney.
Oh yes, Magic from Winnie. That's right. I really should just change my name by default, shouldn't I? Make it easier. Aye,
Joel M.
Joel M.
But that's good though. I would wish my name was sort of a wee bit like that. But then people have started like saying like, oh, Banter box. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah,
Connor maybe because it sounds like Connor, but not like Banter box.
Banter
I
box.
don't know. And a big Belfast accent.
That's all ahead of you now, brother. When you grow a niche Northern Irish audience,
Or
you get
Mr.
all that.
Pop. I do weddings as well.
Aye.
And like I was like on a like the aisle waiting to take like their first kiss and I'm
Aye.
like, Mr. Pog as well.
No way.
I was like,
You're like,
pick your fucking moments.
Not the moment, not the moment, buddy.
I know.
Oh, God bless them. Aye.
Yeah.
But at least you're a star.
Hi. Now you're just making fun of me. Now he's turned into a comedian. just a wee just a wee interview with the king and all like with I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
But thanks very much for
sorry.
coming on. Did you enjoy it?
Mate, thank you so much for having me. This has been the most fun I've had in the show in a
Is
long,
it?
long time. Yeah, great crack. And you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
love
I feel very, very comfy. And I've got
Right.
provided free Fanta too. So thank you so much. But honestly, no, genuinely, thanks so much for having me on. I
No,
really
thanks.
enjoyed myself.
Thanks for coming on. I really enjoyed it.
Anytime, brother. Thank you.
Cheers, and thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and what else was I going to say?
Oh, that's actually important, I should say, because I'm really magic. If they don't subscribe, I'll like curse them
Voodoo dolls and all.
Yeah, so you have to, if you want to avoid the curse, you have to subscribe. That's how it works. No, I don't make the rules. It's just it's a magic thing. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank yous.